Greetings tonight. Welcome to a special Black Men Being Brutally Honest, where I will be hosting an open panel tonight. Like to call this one uh, Brutally Honest Day. Now, it's also my birthday, so I don't believe that, that should be only Brutally Honest Day on my birthday, but I just decided that I wanted to do something a little different. I want to invite people from all walks of whoever's in this space to come forward and explain to me their beef with black men. Uh, Not to say that I'm guaranteed that this broadcast will work out per se. There may not be any person that steps forward and voice their opinion and their grievances, because one thing I do notice is when a person or people do that, they usually do it in their own space or a space full of people who are familiar to that narrative. One thing that I like to practice, and I'm not real sure if that's the message that got across, is I would like for women to come forward and have the chance to defend themselves in a clean fashion, because, men, us men, spend a lot of time, we spend a lot of time, discussing our issues with them. And, like it or not, I'm going to stick to the position of as we should. We should have that position. We should stick to that position because, hey, where there are women, there are children. Excuse me. And a lot of people feel as if a lot of folks out there in this space feel as if that black men should not do that and black men should not worry about it. And of course, we get these ugly responses for giving our perspective on what we see around us. But the response is about as bad as a response you would get from a racist Caucasian, if not worse. Now, am I trying to victimize black men at this point? No, I'm not. What I'm trying to do is give the other side a chance to speak, and whether they come forward or not, tonight there will be other brutally honest days coming real soon. I sense two more before the end of the year. But I did drop a link in the description for people who have never been to this channel and to this panel before. You will hit the first link. For those of you who are familiar to this channel and you've been up here before, you will hit the second link. But let me assure anyone that hits that link to disagree or to talk about their grievances with black men, since it's my birthday, I, the host, Kev, would do everything in my power to protect you. Yes, I know that things can get a little one-sided in these conversations, and in the past, I have displayed that I sometimes let things get beyond my control. But my vow tonight is not tonight, motherfucker. This is Kev's show, and it will be conducted as such tonight. If anyone disagrees, if you're a content creator, you can open up your own show. No matter what it does to my numbers. Because I stand on this. I really do. If you're going to direct some BS toward black men, then black men should be able to respond. Here's here's an example how everyone says that the black manosphere does nothing, and I mean nothing else but talk about women. That's all they do is talk about women. Okay. So I will respond to this extreme exaggeration with this. We as black people have a tendency to pick out the things that we don't like and highlight them instead of looking at the entire picture. There's this argument that, hey, you know what? The black manosphere is about more than that. You're just not checking out the right channels, which has probably been said by more than a few content creators and audience frequenters and panelists that go from content creator to content creator to content creator. Oh, happy birthday to your son, D. Scott, by the way. But they're not lying. I mean, seriously, they're not lying. There are other aspects that is discussed in the Black Manosphere besides the woman that, like y'all, some of you out there say, the woman that rejected these guys in high school. These guys are upset because they ain't getting no pussy, which is a double negative, by the way. But I see that double negative expressed so many times throughout spaces such as this, and the more negative part, the negative narrative of the Black Manosphere is getting to new sources first. So guys in the space have no chance to explain themselves or to even highlight what their content is about to people who already have predetermined to have their minds made up about us. See, now we're the whiny space full of guys who aren't men, who want to see black women fail. We hate black women. We're self haters. We hate our moms. We're weak. We're dusty. We're defeated. I mean, this is all things that I mean. I haven't. I'm not making this up. If you've been in this space enough, you'll understand what I'm talking about. And the big problem is with all of this, and the big problem is it is a lot of it's lies, misconceptions, misleadings of narratives. And the heartbreaker, if you have a big heart for your people, is that it comes from our own people. Our own people are so unforgiving. And it's not, it doesn't have anything to do with um, somebody who didn't lead you into better trains of thought. Because at this point in 2021, with all these so-called independent thinkers around here, we have no one to blame at this point but ourselves. So we need to take personal accountability for how we feel instead of blaming others. Now, understandable, people who've been through traumatic experiences might go about things a little differently. But let's face it, most of you that are coming up here saying all this bullshit are just putting on for personal reasons, reasons that are projected among black men, such as, maybe a black man took your girlfriend and you're upset because it repeatedly happens. You keep being attracted to women, you'll have them for a little while. She might touch the dick one time, and then out of nowhere, she dumps you. Next thing you know, she's on the arm of another black man, somebody that's a little smoother, a little bit more debonair than you are. After it happens maybe 10 or 15 times. And then, maybe three or four of them hurt, stung you in the chest, so to speak. You make a YouTube channel with broadcasts constantly disparaging black men, broadcast after broadcast after broadcast after broadcast, trying to bring black men down as a collective because of a few guys on YouTube or one snarky commenter on Facebook. And you're proclaiming it to be the honest truth, which you won't give a black man a chance to speak, which you know, if that is the case, and if that is the case, I think that you should be a little bit more diplomatic about it instead of just be a little, horseshit bitch or whatever, whatever other insult I can come up with at this time. Because here's my policy. Once you cross that line with me and you say that, hey, you don't respect me, especially as a black man, which is the first thing everyone sees, then I have no reason to really respect you. Then it becomes a ball game. One, I'm not too particularly interested in attending, but sometimes it's a necessary evil. I would like to know these things straight from the horse's mouth. So come be brutally honest with me. Tell me what's wrong with black men. After all, I've spent 4.5, nearly 5 years using platforms to get that, to have my group going, to have my subscriber base going. Name it, black men being brutally honest. For me to do that, it was I would say, a courageous move, because by April of 2017, I understood that if I put that kind of notion onto black men, that there would be too many people within our community, within our race, that too many people that look like us that would rail against that. And I was correct. I was correct. I was more correct than I wanted to be about anything in my 45 years of existence. I'm now 45. Then it was 40. Uh, and I can't get these questions answered. I approach it in a very harsh, direct tone, which is what I'm supposed to do when I'm being disrespected. When black men are being disrespected, I'm supposed to do that shit. And we have a large number, maybe the majority of black people that feel like black men shouldn't. Yet we have a majority of black people that think that black men should lead. And how do you lead in silence? It's not throwing bags of cash out. That's not going to do you any good. All you're going to do is take it to the fucking mall and give the cash away to everyone else. That's why Goldman Sachs is giving that $10 billion to black women, because they're going to throw that money at everyone else. You don't believe me? There are some states that's testing this shit out already, giving money to black women for businesses, and congratulations. You're finally getting that shot. Not like there are not some young black male entrepreneurs that are looking for that same shot, but at the same time, you will have plenty of young black male entrepreneurs that wouldn't be looking for that handout anyway, that would want to do it on their own. And it's very shameful that our people can't admit that their sons have that kind of tenacity. Our own people, our own parents ignore the shit. Oh, you're paying attention to all the negativity. Pray about it. Go to church. Yeah, and still, he can't find a woman that looks like him. Now, not really looks like him, directly like him, but that has melanated skin. It seems like the better he is, the less chance that he has of finding someone within the race, and that's a fact. That's not me. That's not me making black men the sorrowful, woeful victim. That's just what happens, and we are stupid as fuck for not admitting that shit. That can be a problem, but at the end of the day, that's also up to the young man. That's up to the young man himself, because now you have young men that are making a decision to get away from all this shit, because for them it's too much trouble. Some of the things that I care about eradicating and getting rid of, it might actually be too late. We might actually be on the downturn forever and ever. Excuse me. Because there's too many of us railing against that good common sense. And that is a sad, sad thing. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this community burn down. Some of us do, some of us don't care. Some of us will be mad at me because I said I don't want to see this community burn down. I don't give a fuck what you think. Seriously, if you want me to be serious, because hey, you know what? There are still some happy black children out there that you may not care about. There's still some happy ones out there. There's some bad ones. There's some ones that's gonna grow up and tear the fucking place up. But I'm trying to. But there's some black parents out there that's trying to distance their kids from as far away from that shit as possible. So might have to let some of it burn down. But just if you're gonna do it, just get it over with. It is enough. It really is enough talk about it really is enough talk about it burning down, and you know this gloom and doom conversation. So it's like, let's just go ahead and do it and stop talking about it. Shit. I mean, I know y'all need content. I need content. I've talked about a lot of stuff. This is the most talking I've done about a lot of these things ever. Having a YouTube channel. Adam Williams, what's going on? Let me give some shout outs. If I missed you, I'm gonna shout all of you out in the chat in just a second. But I did see Donnie down there, so Donnie can, whenever he's ready, he can go ahead and hit the link that's in the description. He can read, So I mean, and by the way, long live the habitual line steppers, and it is my birthday today. So if there's nobody that will come forward eventually, this broadcast, I can probably get it out to an hour 15 minutes, hour 30 minutes or so. But just want to express myself for a little bit. So just for starters, blame the night of Christmas Eve 1975 for me being here. That was a wild joke that my dad told me one night a few years ago, and my mom immediately popped him. Don't tell that child that. But when I put the dates together, I'm saying, well, sounds about right. Christmas Eve 1975, September 21st, 1976. Yeah, and why some idiot try to use that date to dox. And I'll tell you, it's like, if you do that, the countdown begins. So, I mean, do that at your own risk. But um, yeah, so that's what the blame for me being here for. Um, I enjoy this YouTube channel without telling you guys too much. Um, I'm proud of what I've done so far. People come up here and say, "Hey, I have a life. I got this to do. I got that to do." That's fine. That's fine. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. If you know, if this ain't paying you $1 million a year just yet, or even 50,000, then hey, live your life. I'll never knock you for, you know, not being able to do the damn thing up here because lots of people have, other shit to do, and that's great. But I actually have the time, you know, and I haven't been utilizing that time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, family is very important, and is not something that's very pushed around here. Black men, being brutally honest, is a family man, and it's not, for me, it's not good policy to discourage that dynamic. Now, if you are a single player, run of the mill guy, I wouldn't criticize what you're doing. So why criticize that kind of lifestyle right there? See, that's what I want. That's the kind of shit that I want to hear. I want to hear people come to me and say, you know what, fuck your way of doing things. That family shit is over. I ain't trying to do that shit. Black men are weakened, defeated, motherfuckers. Just come to me and tell me why that logic makes sense. So what up, Donnie? What's going on? My habitual line stepper brother. What's
Uh,
happening?
What up? I just wanted to say that you an old nigga, and I disagree with you wholeheartedly. These hoes is where it's at.
The hose is where it's at. She got an address.
Let me pipe down for my wife come in here with her sandals.
So what's going on, Donnie, man? Shit. Me and Donnie were actually doing some recordings for our entertainment channel, The Black Dimension. I mean, granted that they are StreamYard recordings, but the recording feature on StreamYard is very convenient. So definitely check us out over there. I will be dropping the broadcast in this community tab. So yeah. So what's going on, man?
Man, out here doing daddy duties, trying to make little man something to eat, and just have a good night.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Let's have a good night. Cause I don't come forward with this with hostile intentions. I know I said once is disrespect. That's it for me. It's just that I'm gonna become more smug, more cynical, more sarcastic. But you have to be a special person to bring that out of me. If you're just a basic bitch and you're gonna come up here and say fuck you, fuck your mama, fuck your grandmama, I'm not gonna respond to that. I'm not. I'm not gonna respond to that. I'm gonna treat you like a goddamn idiot. I'm gonna assume that you 2 plus 2 is 13 to your ass. That's the kind of person I am. I have no time for any silliness or immaturity from black people. And that's one of the reasons why I'm up here. Black people, when we are in situations to where we disagree with each other, even on a philosophical level, one party is likely to start treating the other party like an idiot, like they're talking to a fucking peanut or something like that. And it really does, it burns me up, not because it's triggering and I'm all in my feelings or whatever. It's because we shouldn't treat each other like that when we're talking to each other. And I've seen our people on a constant basis take other races more seriously when you're having the same philosophical different disagreements. And it's like we got nothing to prove to our people. We can't even behave for our people, but we can behave for everyone else. This dog and pony show shit that I've repeatedly said that I've got been sick of. So I mean, can't. Oh, and thank you for the super chat, Lee's Ways. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your support of the channel. And I see Toya the Tutor down there. Thank you very much for the birthday wish. Yeah. So I mean that's the kind of shit I'm on right now. So also, like I said, this is open panel. If you want to come up here and kind of get your shit off a little bit, don't get too stupid because I can't put up with that shit anymore either. I'm trying. I'm gonna be direct. I'm gonna be brutally honest with you guys. I've been attempting to get used to doing solo broadcasts. See how much I can speak and I can keep it interesting and uh, uh, you know dragging the convers, not dragging so much the conversation out because of, using the term dragging as far as how I run broadcasts is kind of bad. It's not a great word to use, but I
It's a
have to,
muscle.
yeah, I have to see what I'm made of. Seriously. Uh, it's some broadcast that I left and I was not pleased on how the broadcast went for elements that, like I said, if I bring up anything at all that may seem like that I'm passing the buck or whatever, um, it's not that at all, because at the end of the day, the everything that connects is that I feel as if I should have done a better job managing these things while they were going on. But number one, and this is not some simpish shit, but this is just general courtesy things. When females come up to the panel, we can't cut them off mid sentence and constantly yell at them. That is not a good look. But for the host to not do anything, to not say anything, to not step in and say, hey, fellas, calm down, to let it go on for 30, 45 minutes, even, because that has happened on this channel before, that's just not a good look. And that's not what I'm about. And I'm not apologizing for it because I let it go on, because, like, for real, if there's tons of people that they complain about the space and complain about the conversation that's being had, and a lot of it is legit, but these same folks will go to other spaces that is like throwing gorilla shit at black men as a collective, saying there acting like it's all good, and those broadcasts are more numerous than any broadcast that they may be talking about in the black manosphere that may be negative toward black women. Now, we do have those panelists that have a tendency to use the same 5, 6 stories or whatever, or I don't know, come up here and start just saying what the fuck they want to say and not really sticking to the topic, which is a grievance that I've voiced many times. But like I said again, at the end of the day, shit rolls downhill. It's the host who controls everything. But my ethic as a panelist is always going to be to respect to respect the host of the channel. I would never go on Iko GME's channel if he's trying to talk about, self improvement through meditation, and then I bring up something like, I don't know, bitches ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, which is like the most complained about topic. Now, I'm not here to police the conversation. I'm not here to police the conversation. I'm here to actually find out why the fuck y'all still trying to police the conversation. If you participate in forums quite frequently that disparage black men, you can't continue to sit there and say, "Oh, it's because Edward Anderson said this," or "It's because BGS said that." Well, those just shout outs. I don't. It's whatever on that. But you can't get mad and say that that's because that's the reason why you keep going to these other broadcasts that disparage black men as a collective, because it's likely that the names I called out, you've only heard them say it 1 or 2 times if you're always on those other broadcasts. And why do y'all care anyway? I know honestly, like, I'm not gonna fuck Cynthia G, even though she says a lot of things about black men that are shitty. I mean, shit, you're not gonna fuck those guys either. Let's get to how this broadcast is really supposed to feel, because yeah, I do get triggered by a lot of that bullshit. I do get triggered. I didn't make a YouTube channel to get revenge or anything like that. I just want everyone to know, and black men especially, it's okay to push back against that bullshit. Whether you see it as entertainment, or you see it as offensive. It's okay to push back against it because guess what? You still got those little ones that ain't nearly on that bullshit yet. You still got them at least. Plus, I mean, common sense just is a lot less stressful. So, hey, Donnie, what's going on?
Man, I'm just I'm letting you get your workout in, get the muscle flexing.
Yeah, yeah. Seriously, man. So I mean, I think that if you're going to say that much about black men on a nightly basis, spend hours and hours and hours, 5, 6 hours a night sometimes for some of you, which is great. If you're going to declare a war on black men, which is fucking stupid, by the way. I mean, shit. What it look like? I'm gonna declare war on black women. What are black women? What am I going to fight black women with? I'm gonna slap them upside the head. I'm gonna call them bitches. Like, come on now. Like, we're not supposed to be warring with each other. That's some stupid shit. I mean, it's entertainment. It's fuckery, and a lot of the problem is fuckery attracts crowds. People are entertained by it. It's like, just like I guess watching WWE or some shit. I don't know, but people are. But that's just the thing. Why are people so enamored by folks yelling at each other, throwing insults, being that threatening violence that we know isn't ever going to happen? Because really, from where I am right now, I'm not worried about a nigga in California. Seriously, I'm not worried about a nigga in California. I mean, shit. I mean, if it goes far enough, the world is a very small place, and let's just face that is a very small place, especially for a black man that has time and money and ways of allocating it. So
A lot of
it's
pride and arrogance going on with that. I don't think a lot of these niggas, if they live 3 blocks away from each other, would fight. And that's not to kind of really just shit on anybody, but just to make the point. A lot of these niggas be talking and running their mouth, knowing
yeah,
damn
yeah,
well
like
ain't none of that shit gonna ever happen.
yeah, let's have a boxing match. That won't happen. And I mean, like, and we can tell you from experience, we can't prove it. But I mean, all we can do is tell you. So as far as you know, it could be shit talking. But hey, you know what? I've had like one definite time, and Donnie's had a couple times. I mean, shit. Find the Facebook videos or whatever. But it's like most. But most of these guys, if like 90, I would even say to the point of 99% of them, they don't do shit. They'll threaten all this crap. They'll say they'll pull up on you. They'll say catch a flight, and they don't do shit. I heard of one that no, that didn't happen even in that situation. But it's like, damn, it's like it doesn't make sense. You might as well try to do this in a way that will be you can end it with words. Like, have a sensible conversation. You never know what you can come up with. But
I think a lot of the problems that we have is as a community, that people get emboldened by the anonymity, the distance, the gap between. Because you got to think, if you had this conversation in the barbershop, if you had this conversation on the street, and was out there talking to another man, would you hear like particular people? Well, I ain't gonna say people in particular, but I've heard people go like, "Yeah, you a bitch ass nigga, you a bitch." Da-da-da. Now, I always grew up. My father told me, if motherfucker call you a bitch, you got to make sure that you're not one, and you show them that you're not one. So there's consequences to that, right? Who do you know can walk around in the street all day calling everybody a bitch all the time? Shit don't happen. But motherfucker,
nobody. Most people are chill as fuck. Like for like those be random occurrences that y'all be talking about. Very random. I mean, and a lot of those don't even lead to fights or anything. Shit, I was at the tag office this morning getting my shit renewed, and like there was a guy that decided that he wanted to get his shit off to a security guard, and he wasn't doing nothing
something
but
crazy.
yelling, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
something
talk,
crazy. So, trying to provoke a motherfucker who's at work.
yeah, and
Yeah,
is yeah, nigga shit. Like I was talking about the other night, nigga shit. Like
People who they think they can get away with the shit with, but but when you in the person's presence, when you feel that energy, when you can't get away with this shit, all that big dog energy go out the window.
yeah, but I even began to be like, look, man, come on now, you're not making any sense. But he started to leave by then. It was like, don't for those of you who want to say this bullshit, don't act like we can't interject when things look like they're about to go wrong. Now, if it's two dudes and they are the obvious Pookie thug archetype, I stay away from them because something could happen. States could pull something out. But I mean, if a dude just kind of sitting up here trying to yell at a security guard just because it's a woman or something else, like I just like, look, dude, like, kind of come on, man. Just like it ain't no good. You gonna lose if you try something because all these dudes around here. So man, stop making a fool of yourself because he was clearly making a fool of himself. And you know what? And you know why? Because he was told to pull his mask up.
Oh no, yeah,
Big
people
old
be just acting
grown
extra for no
ass,
damn reason.
grown ass eight. He looked like he was about 25 or 26. About 6'2", 6'3". Security guard was shorter. So, when I got up, I mean, I was standing right next to the guy. And, I had to wait a second, to do everything because, COVID and how they're doing things right now. So I went up there and I started cracking jokes and putting smiles on faces. you know, Stuff like that. They weren't too they weren't too shaken by it. It's like they're used to seeing people do that. and, and that's a goddamn shame. Our people, it's like my dad was at his job where he had to deal with folks. He worked for the state. Like he used to have people always coming in, acting a fool. Our folks, and guess what? They used to shout at my dad. Oh, you one of them old Uncle Tom ass niggas. You know why? You know why they told that to my dad? Because
Right?
he knew how to say a complete sentence. He knew how to say English words to the point of you could understand all of them. And for some reason, we find it very odd that black men can do that. Isn't that strange? To be able to enunciate your words properly, to be to speak a language properly that you were taught and grew up with. Imagine that. Imagine it takes that one little thing for you to look at me like I'm some racist cracker. Imagine that. Or they say Uncle Tom and they get Uncle Tom and they get the Uncle Tom context so motherfucking wrong. Cause Uncle Tom was the good guy. That's just that's just our lack of critical thought right there. And just some BS. But just that kind of thing. Those black men are more disparaged than the black man that actually harms their community, either by influence or physical implications, which is weird as fuck.
It's a bunch
Weird.
of broken dudes.
Yeah.
Bunch of broken dudes without direction, morals, foresight. They don't understand kind of the consequences of their actions, and they think everybody's supposed to be in a broken position like themselves. You got to think of it. We have a whole generation of men running around acting hard on the internet as if consequences don't exist. Did you ever grow up with the ideology that you could say anything to anybody, depending on no matter whatever the situation was, because you thought they couldn't get to you?
I
would
grew up
you?
with No, I didn't. I mean, I used to prank call Nintendo, but I looked at it as that jokes and humor. I never said I was gonna beat your ass or whatever. I would just
Yeah,
act
that's
like
not.
I always act like some dweeb complaining about video game violence or something like that. And try to get to the bottom of why I couldn't have my Mortal Kombat the way I wanted. But that was as far as I went. Telling somebody, if I had the connectivity to reach them within seconds, that I'm going to beat their ass, knowing that they're in another state, that's supposed to be some weak shit because I know it's not possible for me to reach you or possible for you to reach me. When you find out they're around the corner, however, they change their tune completely. which which goes to show you how weak that shit is.
It is because niggas' whole ego, personality, and everything will change when you're not going to do it. He figure out is you, huh, huh? Hey man, hey man, hey
Oh,
man, hey.
oh, oh yeah, oh man, Roger, your generosity, man, really, really appreciate it, man. Shit, it it makes me almost feel bad about skipping your birthday or some shit like that. Like, but for real, man, thanks for the love, man, with the super chat for 100. Says, happy birthday, Kev. I appreciate you. I know how much work you put in, not just in public, but also behind the scenes. You are a great example for our people, and I'm glad to be associated with you. Long live the habitual line steppers. Long live Kev of BMBBH. Thank, thank you, brother. I really appreciate. Like again, dude, I appreciate your generosity, and you know, uh, that's like I understand that when you say stuff like that, that you yourself are being brutally honest. I talk to these guys quite often behind the scenes and on the phone, and we're constantly talking about things that are going on in our community, having a conversation like we're having right now, and coming up with constant ideas for our entertainment channel, the Black Dimension. Go ahead and subscribe to that, and the forward direction for the habitual line steppers. So we're going to be here for a little while. So just strap in. But once again, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. And Ayatollah Black Martian, thank you for the super chat. Once you guys really thanks for the love. Thanks for the love. This and that amongst other things is motivating for me to continue. And so uh all right. So that was very heartfelt, Roger. That was
You over
very
there tearing up, Kev?
heartfelt. Get a little missy out over here, man. But I was just like, I'll save them. I'll save them. But getting back to the topic itself is that uh, yeah, it is.
Niggas got hearts like lions until they actually in front of another one. And then this just be the funniest shit ever. I
Yeah.
think everybody has that mentality. They talking crazy about the bully, and then the bully walk around the corner. Huh? What? Huh? What? I got mind control over Depot.
When he walk up, I shut up. When he go away, I be talking again.
But the reality is, 90% of
Hey,
these
hey,
dudes can't fight, and then they want to go out and get in these situations. They're afraid to take a punch. So what does that devolve into? They got to go get some kind of weapon. It's a whole fear culture behind it.
yeah, yeah, and then now, okay. And speaking of, you mentioned the Friday references. Anthony AJ Johnson, who played crackhead Hazel, he passed away. So yet another Friday actor that is gone, and the possibility of the Impossible remake. The Impossible Last Friday film has become even more impossible. It's to the point right now where he can't even do it, man. I mean, he running out of people to bring back. I mean,
Who else passed away? You got Debo. Okay.
You got Bernie Mac,
Um,
John Witherspoon, Pops. I mean, Pops. Shit, Ronaldo Ray, which I mean, his role wasn't major. I
yeah,
mean,
but they've been talking about a damn last Friday for 2 decades now.
yeah, and then the problem with that is Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker did not want to return to the role for all kinds of reasons. Lot the most prominent one is he went to Africa and became a changed man, and he wanted to be an example to his nephews, not to be typecast as a pothead. Um, and Ice Cube has wanted to do it, but Chris Tucker just like, I don't like, he was using all kinds of reasons, money grab. I even heard that his agents uh, that he used said that he was basically too much of an actor to do the franchise since he had been in movies like Jackie Brown and Rush Hour, which I think is some BS because Ice Cube is just as big as anybody. Seriously, so that might have been a rumor or something, just kind of throw salt on the way black people operate. I mean, I'm not
Well,
gonna
I thought they all got like $5,000 or something like that, right, for the first film. So he wasn't really paying them a whole bunch.
make. But yeah, that was his first film, though. I mean, yeah, and they have made more than. I mean, did Ice Cube keep all the money from the first film that they made in profit?
I'm not quite sure. I'm sure that movie has some royalties like a motherfucker.
Mm. So Adam Williams, who you got, Diaz or Lawler? That's an MMA question. So is it Diaz and Robbie Lawler, or is it Nick?
Yeah, Nate Diaz and Robbie
Nick.
Lawler are fighting.
Okay.
I think this is the second time around. Nate Diaz is going to beat him the fuck up, but I mean, we'll see where it goes. Nate
Yeah.
Diaz is one of those dudes who's extremely talented, phenomenal boxer, but his pride just be letting him take losses. Robbie Lawler is a dude who's got some skill, but it just don't seem like he always want to get up and train for the fight. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Oh, okay. Yeah. How about this? Speaking of a fighter is a fighter, as a matter of fact. How about Anderson Silva knocked out Tito Ortiz in the first round of a boxing match?
I was very happy that that happened. I knew he was going to get beat up. I didn't think it was going to be as quick, but I knew he was going to get beat up. And personally, Tito Ortiz can eat a dick.
Yeah. Tito Ortiz is kind of a fuckwad. Didn't he beat
Well,
Jenna?
like,
Wasn't he an abuser of some type? Like,
I don't know. I don't. I'm not
uh,
going to jump into that
yeah.
situation. I know he's a goofy white supremacist. He's a staunch
Oh,
little white Republican.
oh, okay. Republican white supremacist. So Anderson Silva kind of clapping him was a victory of sorts for all of us.
Yeah, he went. I'm not racist. I've got black in my family. I've got goofball shit.
Okay, so let me call out the super chat from Y Skinner Man Cave. Thank you, my brother. Happy birthday, Kev. You were the first panel I was on after joining YouTube. Shout out to BMBBH. Wow, I really appreciate that. I really do, man. I was a few people first on here. Uh, Mister, hold up. Where that super chat button come from? I mean, it's been there. It's been there for a while. But anyway, thank you for that. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate the love, people. I really do. You don't you don't understand how much. I mean, but yeah, definitely have I would say sort of a passion for it. Now, if I could just get off my butt and just start putting out those news stories again, you have even more content on this channel to view. But yeah, as a big number is 45. And I cracked a joke with my closest friends the other day. I was like, yeah, black folks about to be mad at me for an entire year for nothing. That was pertaining to the 45 reference. And, and just in case that this went over your head, number 45 is the presidency of Donald Trump. Donald Trump was the 45th president. So, we have a lot of people who really, really vehemently dislike Trump, and they dislike Trump to the point to where they ignore the job that Joe Biden is doing just to still talk about Trump. I mean, this great president they elected, but pol- don't get me wrong on the politics. I only want what is beneficial for blacks. I've always wanted that. And I just don't think that the decisions that we make politically, we're gonna get it. I don't know. I might be long dead before that happens, but who knows? I mean, I may be wrong. But tonight is HBD to me, brutally honest day. I have a link in the description. If you have a beef or some gripe with black men or the way black men express ourselves, you can feel free. If you've never been here before, hit the link for the new people. If you are a familiar panelist, if you are familiar to this channel, if we know you, you can hit the other link. So, I mean, all right, we're at almost an hour. So, uh, and so far, we got a habitual line stepper, which has been more than enough so far. Because let me tell y'all something, man. Let me tell you something. And I've said this before. I said that and we got 20 okay, the most we had is 24 watching, 25 watching. I'd rather have 25 of you intelligent, intellectual people than 200 morons. 200 ratchet ass, flipping out ass people who are causing nothing but disarray and dysfunction, who are making us as a people look bad to ourselves. I'm not concerned about other groups because I feel as other groups have made minds made up already. So if Asians think that Asian is the best thing, who am I to argue? I just want black people to think that black is the best thing. But if you marry out, I'm not dick policing or private part policing or whatever. If you marry out, I still do believe that you can make some contributions. If you, because let me tell you something. Like I said earlier, the first thing they look at is a black man when they see me. That's the first thing they see when they look at me. There's no way around it. The first thing they're going to see is a black person, black man, black woman, black child. Tamir Rice was seen as a black man. 12-year old with a toy gun, seen as a black man. So I just put that on your brain. So, all right, Alan Stranger, not for nothing, you're great at studying motivation, fam. Keep it up. All right, appreciate that sentiment right there. Uh, yeah, but yeah, Anderson Silva's a beast. But Vanderlei Silva knocking out Evander Holyfield. Donnie, what do you think of that? Donnie.
Vitor Belfort.
Oh, it was Vito Belfort. It wasn't.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, it was Vito Belfort. Oh, sorry. Ugh, yuck.
Wanderlei. I'd have felt some type of way if it was Wanderlei. But Vitor's been in mixed martial arts since he was a kid. And he's been fighting forever. And at a certain point in the UFC, before Usada came in, he was an axe murderer. He was just taking motherfuckers out left and right. And what that was about was he had TRT. And he was getting the fountain of youth and coming back and whooping everybody's ass. So you got to think he was in his physical prime because of the testosterone, right? And then he had the mental acuity and uh, everything that comes with being an older fighter. You wouldn't stand a chance. You know what I'm saying? You know all the tricks of the trade and you got the ability to keep up with them. Oh, it's a wrap for you. So he was destroying people left and right. Um, so I am very much curious how that drug test is going to come out. I am also curious to see what Evander Holyfield has to say about it. Because how old was Evander? He was 60?
Damn. Yeah, that would explain things if it's like that. Cause
He's
like,
been 60 or some shit. Yeah, he really had no business in the ring with him. But I don't know. I would have preferred for him to get back in with Mike.
to Holyfield get back
Whoa.
in with Mike.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
that would have been a friendlier rivalry. It'd have been something we could have watched and kind of bet on and talked about, right?
Yeah,
But to get him in the ring with Vitor Belfort, that just wasn't the way.
yeah. Hybrid Impact 83 says Evander Holyfield is 58 years old.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man, 60 years old.
yeah. It's 2 years from 60, so he's about there. And I mean, we will always have gone back to that Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield, like Mike biting his ear off. Like that shit was crazy. I was like, wow, Mike really just bit this man ear off. But
I
yeah,
remember watching that. I was, ooh, shit. Oh, okay.
yeah. Yeah, Hybrid Impact says Mike was smoking, but yeah, right now he would. Mike was smoking Evander. Evander took too much damage in his career. Yeah, I mean, especially like didn't Evander Holyfield get messed up when he fought like Lennox Lewis or somebody like that?
It's been so long, I don't even remember.
Yeah, because Lennox was fucking people up. Like I watched a YouTube video on Lennox Lewis the other day. Lennox Lewis was a beast. But he does say, to his credit, he does say that he didn't, when he fought Mike Tyson, he didn't fight the best Mike Tyson. He wanted the best Mike Tyson. So I was like,
Nobody fought the best Mike Tyson after Customato died. You fought a remnant of the best Mike Tyson, but after Customato died, that nigga was not the same.
Yeah. Then, like, on top of that, going to jail for a few years because of some, what he claims to be a false rape accusation. And I would have to say, I believe Mike. I do believe Mike. Um, what are you? And this has been a sentiment that has been expressed by a lot of females. Is that what will you be going through that hotel room at 1 and 2 in the morning anyway for? And that's not victim blaming. That's just common goddamn sense. Shit. I mean, shit. And and in that case, they didn't admit it. They didn't admit certain evidence. So, I mean, that could have made a difference.
I mean, yeah, he was railroaded. He was railroaded. They put him in a bad position. And then his it didn't help his persona at the time was what, bad boy, right? Yeah, so he
Uh,
was pretty much down for the count before it started.
yeah. But
I'll be
he.
back.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, yeah. I hear Donnie being called away to daddy duty. So that's cool shit. And yeah, let's talk about that fatherhood piece real quick. Since you do have a couple of fathers on this panel. And in my avatar, below my chin, you will see like a piece of forehead. That's my daughter right there. And I would put her in full view. She's still little. She's 6. And if someone that, and crossing any of my adult acquaintances, friends, family members, whatever, that's one thing. But, trying to drag my little girl into it, that turns me into a very evil, evil, evil person. It's like calling Candyman 5 times in a mirror at midnight, and then the motherfucker shows up to gut you. That's me when you cross my kid. And I don't really see how any father cannot ever feel that way about their child. I will, yeah, I will tear your gut up from the butt up with a Candyman hook. Don't fuck with my kid at all. And being on social media, thank you, Petway boy. Thank you very much. And being on social media, I've had people go at my kid. That's what black people do. They go at anybody. If you're pushing back a little bit too much, people feel like they're being cornered. So they use words like they're a pit bull trying to bite at folks, trying to get out the corner. So, excuse me. Or they're one of those guys like Nino Brown. They look for a human shield, so they pick up a little girl and cover themselves from being shot. Yeah. That's how I feel when people like, if you're trying to bully me, and it's absurd to try to bully somebody like me anyway, because I don't allow it. And then you start bringing my family members into it. You start doing that low down shit right there. But my kid, and you can go to hell. I'll see you there for real. That's like adults. They can handle themselves. Honestly, if you said something about my pops, hey, you know what? My pops don't give a shit about none of this. My mom don't give a shit about none of that either. Literally. I mean, they are in reasonably intelligent people. They know and understand that there are crazy folks out there. Some of us Gen Xers, we act like we don't understand that shit. We act like we don't. Let me put Roger's super chat back up here. Yeah, when you put up this much, yeah, I'm likely to flash your super chat a few times, and that was a really heartfelt super chat right there. So let's display that for just a second. But Roger is a mature black man. He's a mature individual. He would never do anything like that, no matter how much he disagreed with you. No matter how much he did. And and like we are men that we will put up a pretty good debate with you, but we end up walking away agreeing to disagree. We may give it a thought a little bit later, but it's not the seed that sprouts into a beef. Betway Boy said Roger's stream was very good earlier. Roger always has good streams. Roger always has great streams. He's the best show on social media, Monday through Friday mornings. Uh, but this whole like the way all these little hoe ass niggas and these bitch ass bitches, a lot of these people, they I don't know, they don't get it. They don't get it. A lot, and then a lot of these folks will be in one breath saying that, oh, we need to stop all this. There's no point to back and forth and all this fighting and stuff. And then in another breath, they talking about how fat your mother is, or how dumb your daddy is, or some shit like that, or how dusty your whole entire existence. They'll preach black unity in one breath and then shit on everything you love in the next, all over disagreement and differences of opinion. This is one of the purposes of, well, this was the purpose of this broadcast. So if you do feel that way, why are you saying bullshit like that? Why are you being so fucking immature? Why are you why are you attacking family instead of folk? Because see, here's the thing: I don't go get your family. I come for you. I come for you. I am a gun. I will shoot you till there's nothing left. Just figuratively speaking. I'm not a get. I'm not a what do they call the Gatling gun, that the gun that spins and chops everything down, or a chopper, or whatever they call it. I mean the gangster gun terms or whatever. Like, I don't know, but I'm that gun. I shoot at you till there's nothing left with words. I'm that guy, but I would never aim toward your kids or toward anyone else in your circle, toward your family members. But a lot of people don't have that resolve, and that problem needs to be solved immediately. There's nothing that will start a be faster than something like that. And really, people do that bullshit to throw you off your game because they're losing. And you ever heard of the expression, once they start ad homineming? I mean, well, start with the ad hominems and the attacks, that they automatically lose. Well, that's the case. They know they got one foot in a hole that they're about to fall in, that they can't climb out of, that you dug for them, because they can't get around what you're saying. And it means that much to them to be right. And when they can't be right, they do dumb shit like that. Give a fuck. I mean, for real, it's like, as much as I want to step out of my cool and step out of character when people do that, I'll just rather do it the old fashioned way. I let you hang yourself. I know y'all heard me say that before. Let them hang themselves. They hang themselves, there's nothing they can take back. If I hang them, some people might actually view me as being wrong for doing that shit. But if they hang themselves, hey, it's suicide. And suicide, there's nothing more with more accountability than suicide. However you feel about that. So, see you back, Donnie.
Yeah, battery issues like a mug, but I'm good now.
Okay, well, it happens. I thought I heard the kiddo in the background, so I put in a plug about black fathers and how much we care about our children. So,
Oh no, he's currently crying.
okay,
He's
yeah,
throwing a tantrum over pizza and not getting juice and being able to watch Paw Patrol.
oh, okay, yeah, yeah, kid issues, yeah, very complicated. I do understand those. Yeah, yeah, but you're only getting started, man. I mean, he's been around for 2 years, but hey, it's gonna get more and more fun, man, and more fulfilling, and it will motivate you a lot more, as he grows and as he develops. So yeah, it's kids are great. Kids are a beautiful thing. When I first looked at my daughter, I was thinking two things. Number one, I was like, I'm glad I got a cute kid. Because it's like some ways of my thinking, even though I don't go at kids, some ways of my thinking are a little savage. And, I'm going to be a savage toward myself before anyone else. But, I was like, I'm glad I got a cute kid. And, I can't imagine, for as long as my existence, our existence, that, being without my kid. And what really just pisses me the fuck off is when everybody, when we choose the narrative that, oh, black fathers just aren't there for their kids, they have a history. I mean, I read these comments so much, and even though I I can only tune in to broadcasts like that for like maybe 1, 2, or 3 minutes and really listen to what the gist. I can get the gist of the broadcast, but the whole narrative put out by a WS media stating that black fathers routinely aren't there for their children is absurd. And a lot of these people that put those narratives out, they had good fathers. Now, a couple of them didn't, but a lot of them did. Because you ever heard that crappy person that says this bullshit? They're like, oh, okay, well, not all black men because of my father. But they're talking about black dads. Like, ain't nobody black dad that's been there for them. Now, if you had a sorry ass daddy, because I never hear anybody calling their mother sorry, no matter how bad she is. If you had a sorry dad, I'm sorry. I really am. But I don't have very much empathy for a couple of reasons. Number one, my father was there. He was a good guy. Number two, I hear so many people bitching about, and black people in particular, bitching about fathers not being there. When half or to most of those people's fathers were there. So those are the reasons. And you call me insensitive all you want. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. So if your father wasn't there, good. Not good. Not good. If your father wasn't there, I'm sorry you were cheated out of the experience I had with mine. I'm sorry you were. Really. If you're a person that has risen above and beyond without a father being there, congratulations. I mean, granted that you have maintained sensibility and was able to progress and be a benefit to yourself and those around you, because that's what it's all about. But if you some pookie out there, you just making babies, dropping babies in different chicks, and you're in and out of jail and all this other shit, then your pops wasn't there. It is that you're a piece of shit, just like your nothing ass father, and I get that, but I can't relate to that stuff. I like to stick to the facts. So that's what I'll say about that. Cortez Smith. Black men are such father figures that they even play stepdad. And then
It,
go ahead.
that is a weird thing because I didn't grow up with that mentality of like, yeah, we just be stepdaddy, but I see it so common now, and I don't really see it with white folks. I don't like there's white folks who do it, but I don't really see white folks being like, yeah, being a stepdad is great. Everybody should aspire to be a stepdad. When black folks like niggas be running around like that's just the lick. That's just a regular old thing to do. It like oh everybody wants like I've never seen a prominent white man, i.e. Boyce Watkins, get up and start talking about how he's a what do you call it a extra dad or a dad plus or some shit like that, like some goofball shit. Like I've never seen that in the white community. Have you? Gabe, you there?
Oh, yeah, I hit the other mute button. No, I haven't. I haven't. The answer is no.
I mean, to me, that's just I don't know. It's just some weird shit, but it's the standard. And if you tell a woman that you're not up for being with kids, um, prime example, I told a woman I didn't want to be a stepdaddy. Well, she don't need a daddy. She good. She already got a daddy. Okay. I didn't need you for none of that. Oh, okay. So let's say we get serious. Let's say we get married. We go out to eat. Are you going to be forever paying your daughter's portion of the meal? We're going to split the check every time we go out. I mean, I don't pay. I don't mind paying for my wife, but you paying for your daughter? Well, no, you supposed to. Oh, okay. So she must be the daddy in that aspect. When we get a house, are you paying three-quarters of the rent? Because we're gonna have two bedrooms. I'm paying for half of my bedroom. You paying for half of your bedroom and a whole bedroom for your daughter. So are we splitting the rent three ways? No. How we getting this done? Well, no, you know. Oh, okay. So all of this falls into the realm of being a daddy. Well, you're just selfish. All right, cool. Say no more.
See, hey, any of you brothers out there that are still single, and according to the stats, it's 51%, right? Any of you are single with no kids, um, you do what you want to. You can choose to take in a woman that already has a child because someone told me once that you're allowed one mistake. And a lot of guys don't even roll with that shit. But I would never encourage you to just do that. To, just like that preacher, that screenshot I was saying, that man that went to that huge, he said he went to a huge church. The pastor asked all the single men to stand up, and it was about, I would say, he said about 13, 14 of them. And then he said all the single mothers stand up, and then, excuse me, they stood up, and the pastor was like, now you guys go over there and get one of the women and help them take care of their kid. And then they said all the guys walked out. It's like, I never will be that pastor. I will never be that. I will never tell you to do that. And it's like, I'm not gonna tell you not to do it, because that's your free human choice. But I would never push you to do it.
He has to pander to his number one moneymaker.
Yeah, pretty much, because black men aren't going to do that. One thing about black men is, that, yeah. And Roger had this conversation yesterday, I think, about, he was asking the question: do Christian women want Christian men? Why aren't the pastors really encouraging the men of the church to get with the women of the church, when the women of the church are, when they are single, when they have no children? Um, and the reason why that is why of, and I came up with this theory why pastor would not encourage the family dynamic, because with the men being in charge of the money, then he couldn't get all the money to come to him. You know, of course, you know, uh when it's affecting his bottom line, he'll encourage it to be the other way. So,
Oh man, that is so funny you said that. It just brought up my the story of my aunties, right? So my aunt, she's my aunt by marriage, right? My aunt P. She went to this church. My uncle went when he could, and she developed a relationship with the pastor. Nothing funny, but she would go help out and do whatever she could. Now, the pastor, well, the whole church actually knew that she worked for Southwest in the reservation department. That was over the phones, right? So she would get a set of buddy passes. So typically, the buddy passes for Southwest, they would get you anywhere in the country as long as there was a seat open on the plane. So I guess at some point the pastor called her and said, "Hey, sister, um, I hate to do this, but we got a family emergency. Uh, I, I I just need some tickets for myself and for my wife to get from point A to point B." And my aunt, being a very sweet woman, she said, "Yeah, that's fine." And apparently, at some point or another, it got back to the pastor that she had more than one or two passes. So the pastor called back up there, and I remember being a little bitty kid with my cousin. We were sitting on the couch, and we were watching Power Rangers or something. And my aunt shot up, grabbed the phone, said, "Oh, okay," and then went in the other room and had my little cousin go and go hang up the phone while she took the phone call. Now that was strange for her, and I think my uncle had realized it. So he went in there to go listen and try and hear what they was talking about. He picked up the phone, and the pastor was asking my aunt for not one, not two, but six bike passes.
What? Six?
So six buddy passes so she could get her whole family up there. And what I mean, he was pressing her because I guess he was on like a, hey sister, I really hate to do this, but hard times, and the Lord will provide. And he's quoting scriptures to her, and my uncle is listening, and he just like, oh, this motherfucker here. Because we in the living room, he in the kitchen talking, so we can see and hear what he doing. Hey, listen, pastor nigga, uh, my wife won't be giving you a goddamn pass at all, pastor nigga, and we won't be coming back to your congregation, pastor nigga. I can't believe you would call up here asking for these buddy passes, pastor nigga.
Damn.
But
Damn.
I say all that to know that these pastors be leaning and pushing up on these women and trying to get them and put them in positions to do things to benefit them on a small scale, large scale, short term, long term. These pastors is ruthless, and they know that they can pick on these women, especially if they ain't got no man in the house. And they tried it with my aunt, and she had a man in the house, and he got blown up out the water. But imagine if she had been, a single mother, he'd have got all them passes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I believe it. And that single mother would have believed that the Lord would have provided. Like she'd have probably got like the stimulus check and be like, "Oh, I knew it. I knew the Lord would bring it back."
Mm-hmm.
You
and
know?
and him just getting in church and saying some little slick shit like, well, all the men in the church, the single men, I need you to stand up right now. I need you to stand up with all these single mothers, and you need to get with them. That right there wouldn't now that wouldn't have not none of man in the church would have been like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna go holler at these women because the pastor said so. Not none. But the women in the church would have been like, ooh, pastor is working. Oh Lord, this is why I gave him my last little couple of dollars that I should have spent on the rent.
Mm. Yeah. Speaking of pastors, man. Hey, man. You know how you have this little thing called the divestment community, these divestment bras, these clubhouse bras that that have all these plots against black men, like we gonna use the police to kill y'all and all this other bullshit and everything. Well, let's stick to the pastor thing. They have this church in Atlanta called Excel Church Atlanta. I saw it on my Facebook feed. The pastor is white and his wife is black.
Oh hell no!
Whoa. And yeah, he when you hear him speak, he speak like one of them. You remember, like, oh, we're gonna release a broad. And let me side note. We're gonna release a broadcast on the Black Dimension, talking about this Asian actress called named Aquafina, and she uses this thing called a black scent.
Oh hell no! He come out like a black pastor, and I want to let the Lord know that you need to tithe and drop it off in the offering plate. Now, ladies, if you need someone to talk to late at night, don't feel bad. Just call my number. I'll speed right over, and I get the oil, the pretty oil, to get that demon about. Oh yeah, them niggas is foolish.
I mean, but like all up and down that page, nothing but sisters talking about some, oh, praise the Lord, you tell the truth. Like, I mean, they was so hyped for that dude. I mean, it was ridiculous. But he's one of them wiggers. He's one of them wigger pastors, man. I was like, good Lord. I mean, so I mean, like, could if you had a way with them dudes, them Snoop Doggy white guys that that use that black scent, if they figure out to become pastors and such and mega church preachers, that get with a sister that they'll rope the sisters in for good, like it could work. It could be the ultimate hustle.
If
I
Joel Osteen had a gold grill, it would be game over for Bishop
mean,
T.D. Jakes.
sure will. So
Creflo wouldn't have no dollars if that white man came out and said, "Hey, ladies, I just was feeling I was feeling the vibe, and the Lord told me to go get these gold teeth and bestow them upon my mouth, and I just feel uh ooh, I feel nigga, that whole church would be packed out."
the man sing a gospel version of John B. Don't
Hmm.
listen to what people say. Praise the Lord. I mean, me and Bay. Like, like, come on, man. Like, it's the ultimate hustle now for, if you are a Caucasian male and you're listening, you might want to hook up with a sister and start a church. That's all I'm saying. And Petway Boy was saying, bruh, I was just about to say him, LMAO. So is yeah, great minds think alike. And Petway Boy, you are obviously a great mind. So um yeah, anyway, yeah, man, it's been an hour and 23 minutes. I don't know, maybe I should do a broadcast like this with a much bigger crowd or whatever. But I mean, people always got so much to say. It's like, why do you think that people feel the need to stay safe? Excuse me, when they're saying stuff like this. I'm burping a little bit because I'm drinking a beer. So, why do you believe that people would rather, like, it's like they're shouting from across the lake? Why would they rather do that than to actually talk things out and to hash things out?
I don't know. It's easier than being a child, growing up in certain people's position. Most of these people are still children, so who knows? Maybe they. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe when I don't know. It. I don't know. I think a lot of these people are clowns to begin with. Sometimes.
Yeah, just a bunch of projection and such. Let me answer this question to Cortez Smith. But Kev, what if a black pastor had a white wife? LOL. And I treat that motherfucker like Daniel Cameron. The attorney general that sabotaged the Breonna Taylor case. They'll treat that man just like he did that shit. You are misleading us. You are leading us to hell. Oh, no, whatever. Um, yeah, but Donnie, too. Yeah, I think that a lot of them do it because there are a lot of people that are looking for I would say, a figurative shoulder to lean on because they have done so much crap in their lives that have led to such bad things, such as, I don't know, doing poorly with raising children. That's like, see, if my child fails, I would feel at fault. I would feel like I did everything wrong. I would feel as if that, that is the ultimate failure and that nothing would matter. But a lot of these girls, kids fails on a regular basis. A lot of these old pookie ties kids, they fail on a regular basis. And I think they're just looking for I don't know, they're looking for let's see, coping. They're coping. They're coping. They're looking for a coping mechanism. So so the people who realize this, your average everyday grifter that realizes this and knows that this thing is rampant, like there's nearly 80% of all moms in the black community are single mothers. That's an astronomical figure, and that is a shameful stat. Shameful. And we as black people, we don't have enough shame. So with so many kids failing, it is easy to say that, hey, you know what? The father wasn't there. That's why the kids failed. That's why your kid is failing.
Yeah,
You know,
it's an excuse to not be. I, so I see a lot of these people when they have kids, like when these women have kids,
yeah.
they're the ones who had all these hopes and dreams, right? And they're, oh, I'm gonna be a doctor, or I'm gonna be this, and all you niggas is broke, and I'm not gonna be like none of y'all. And then they go out and get pregnant, and it's never their fault that they got pregnant. It's the man's fault, right? Oh, it's these niggas. Well, if he just would have done this, if he should have just been a man. So now, instead of being a failure like she was going to be anyway because she was lazy, she didn't have the gumption to get up and get out. Now it's on the child. I had to be a mother. I had to do this. It's your fault that you didn't do this. So now she's, effectively awarded a state within with a the world's greatest excuse. I had a kid at a young age, right? I don't have to be anything. I wasn't able to do this because I was a kid, and that's just an excuse for bullshit. And then when these kids end up repeating the cycle and being in fucked up situations, what do they say? Instead of being a mother, instead of being the one that is solely at fault, well, your daddy. Who was your daddy at? Well, I couldn't do it all on my own. But if the kid ends up being, a millionaire, uh, gets the Nobel Peace Prize, what do they say at that point? Well, I did it all on my own. I didn't need no daddy, and I built you there. So, I mean, in my opinion, these women have kids like this in order to escape all accountability and have an excuse for just not being shit with them for their life. And it's really sad at this point, but it ultimately reflects on the kids. That's why these kids are in such bad situations. The parents don't give a fuck. The parents just use them as a scapegoat for their life, their lifestyle, their life choices, and everything else that went wrong in their life. So, I mean, it is kind of it really is expected at this point. Why would all these black kids be in a successful position, and what is it, 80% of them come from a single mother household where they're impoverished, the mama don't give a damn about them, the mama's got multiple niggas running in and out. Yeah, we should be in a fucked up position. if the
Hmm.
if the mother cared to begin with, they really wouldn't be here.
I think a large amount of guilt comes from them as well, and the way they cope is to point the finger everywhere else, which is wrong and stupid, and it does not solve the problem at all. And when you have a person who regularly disparages black men having the knowledge that this happens, and there are people who are looking for spaces to cope, as a matter of fact, then they are going to start preaching that nonsense. These sorry ass niggas, they don't want to take care of their kids. They deadbeats, they broke. They want them a white girl. It just any fucking thing, except for, I wasn't cut. I'm not parent material. Telling folks the truth. Like, I wasn't a responsible person. Maybe I had this kid a little bit too young. Just identifying the problem. So, um, we can work towards solving it and at least preventing it from having, from people doing that haven't done it yet. A lot of people don't want that. They want the misery and they want the crap to continue. And it is very profitable, peddling misery. Now, this is something that black men spaces often get accused of. Let's talk about the other side of this. Here is their concerns, and a few might actually be legitimate. They complain about men who, I will say, always talk about women in a negative way because of negative experiences that they have had. Now, granted, if you had a negative experience as a child and it caused some form of trauma, then I think I would myself believe that it is beyond sick to demoralize those experiences because it happened to them as a child. But what happens is, in a lot of cases, I would say that these children become adults. I've always said that, excuse me, trauma is no reason to destroy the life of another human being, especially another child. It is no reason to do that. Once you come to the realization that this is what the problem was growing up, if you have enough critical thinking skills, you would understand what the problem is and work on a way of solving them or making things better for yourself. can't just continue to talk about a problem and talk about a problem and talk about a problem and complain about a problem that, even okay, let's just say it just like this. Even if and what's up, Sir Anthony? Thank you. Even if you are having problems with women, saying like, okay, you haven't gotten any pussy, and I would say let's throw out a ballpark number: 18 months. You've gone without sex for 18 months.
Impossible.
And it takes a toll on your psyche. It takes a toll on your psyche. Then you just so happen to have a YouTube channel, and you start just spouting all this vitriol about women because you haven't had sex in about 18 months, or you're a single mother that has about 3 kids by 3 different dudes, and you kind of look like Dunkin' Donuts is afraid to see you approaching. Then then you get on YouTube and start spouting all this hatred toward black men. You know, we understand people like that exist. We do. We honestly do. I mean, but like I said, and I'm going to make this crystal clear: whatever your negative experience is no reason to try to rip everything apart for everyone else. If you have, especially if you have a child, your life, like, and this is the way I grew up, and I know everybody didn't grow up this way. Your life becomes your child once you have one, because that's a responsibility right there. You do everything you can to make sure that child at least makes it to 18 unscathed. With somewhat equipped. They're not going to have everything because they have to go out into that world and grab it. But you can only hope for the best. Long Tong Son, today is the 950th day of no sex for me. No lie. Uh, does that no sex also include no fap? Because I mean, if you fapping, that it doesn't really count. But I mean, if you've been able to have that kind of semen retention, then more power to you. Let me see that no more power to you. Congratulations, man. That is hella mind control. Let's see, LaShawn Jefferson's in the building. Indigenous TV, what's going on? Just having a slight just having a slight birthday broadcast. Donnie is dropped off. It said messy dreams. Ugh. Ugh. Uh, GC said
I'll be
president.
right back, Kev.
Okay, all right, cool. That president brother, he's in a drought. I mean, shit. I really was hoping somebody would like actually hit the link. I mean, let me remind y'all once again that the link is in the description. If you um if you are familiar to this channel, and if you are familiar to this channel, hit the second link. If you're new, hit the first link. In fact, I don't even know if anyone's hit the first link. Just say something in the chat. I need to go back on that broadcast, see if anybody's there. Shit. Hold on 1 second, y'all. I mean, if anybody did hit that link, shit, I wouldn't know. I wasn't there. All right, nobody's hit that link, so cool. I mean, but like I said, if you're new here, hit the first link. If you've been here before, hit the second link. Um, but I really wanted this to kind of pan out. I really wanted somebody to come up here and break down the reasons why they continuously disparage black men. And you never know, you might actually tell us a legitimate reason. You might actually tell us. Shit, it might be something that we actually agree with, or we actually sympathize and understand. But understand this: I have seen tons of disrespect and ratchetness within that kind of that uh, regular thought process. So yeah, so shit. Anybody out there? I've never been a very good whistler. Oh man, but anyway, yeah. I think we've covered just about all the bases. Just about all of them. Not all of them. I'm sure there's a couple of more things that I would. Okay. I hate black men because we are awesome. Uh, LOL. Okay. So I mean, it's like, yeah. I mean, this is the night to speak freely. And if I am to have open panels from here on out, because here's what I mentioned earlier, uh I've been doing a lot more broadcast solo, and this is just an exercise in seeing what I have, basically, as far as myself as a content creator being able to uh, do righteous monologue, because here's the truth. Um, you can have as many panels as you would like to have, but the spirit and the energy has to come from you, the host. It has to come from you. It can't, I'm the kind of person like, and I should always be that kind of person. I should always be the kind of person that want to be the best person on the panel. Period. And if you're a content creator, you should always want to be the best person on the panel. I don't really want somebody coming up in here in this panel showing me up. If they're just better, they're just better. But my mentality has to be that I have to be the best one. I have to be the best thing going on my broadcast. And I think that all content creators who run their own broadcasts should pretty much do the same. Mahogany Roots and MJ, what's going on? Good to see you, sister. Yeah. So there. So, but what I'm saying is this: I will, in the future, when I do open up panels, I would have to say that I will conduct them a lot better, and I will keep the audience, the people who are watching, and the people in the chat in mind. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting year. I mean, shit, I'm 5 years from 50. Wow. And I mean, my mindset, like, how's an old person supposed to think? you know, 45 is old to some people. I mean, it isn't really old per se, because although I am having a couple of aches and a couple of pains, is nothing that the gym can't fix at this point. Is uh my I would say my skin hasn't started to sag like an old man yet. And y'all seen old men who take off their shirts and their skin is just, I don't know, pale and aged. My skin hasn't gotten to that point yet. So I'm still in pretty good position right now. So I can hide the old man for a little bit longer, but the gray in my beard gives it away. Is once you get that gray hair, everyone thinks you're old. Everyone thinks that you have one foot in the grave. Everyone thinks that you're walking on cane. You're taking Geritol. You should be in bed pretty early. Uh, you're worried about the young whippersnappers. I oughta, I should be saying stuff like that, but it ain't like that. I mean, one thing I think that really helps with that is that I have a very young child. I mean, kids truly do keep you young. They truly do. I mean, I have so much fun from day to day with my kid. I actually hates when she goes to school because that's less time to spend with her. I understand the benefit of going to school, of course. I mean, I can't deny that. But I mean, it's like that. I feel like that. I mean, I've actually stayed playing video games longer in my life than I have because I have a kid. I mean, I like video games. I've always stuck with them since like I don't know 1980 something. And I mean, it's just some cool. I love technology. I love when people do cool shit with technology. It just the video game, the graphics, and all that other little shit, all those other little nuances. I always had an appreciation for. So this as long as you're living and breathing, black man, you still have a chance to be great. Period. I could see 45 as a new beginning. It's the beginning of the rest of my life. This is the beginning. Herbert Lewis, what's going on? Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for stopping by. But hey, man, I could go toe to I go toe to toe with any of you youngsters. Nah, I'm just letting that don't. I might have to prove that one day. So y'all chill. I got respect. I got respect for people. I'm not gonna be that old man that um, is the kind of guy that gets out of pocket and gets real disrespectful. So you young people better listen to me. Y'all young people don't know what the hell y'all doing. Well, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that. I'm a chill guy. If I see you in the process of fucking up, then I'll step in and be like, look, it ain't worth it. It's not. It's not. I'm always going to try to tell people to make the best decision because that's what I've been taught. That's what a true friend does. A true friend will always have you wanting you to always make the better decision. And even if I'm not your friend, if I can affect your life in a positive way just by keeping you from doing something stupid for that moment, if I can at all keep you from doing it, that's the route I'm going to choose. I've never been the one to say, "Yeah, man, fight that nigga, man, fight that nigga," because you never know, man. Especially in 2021. I mean, granted that I'm far removed from those days. GC. Shaking your fist at those damn millennials. Yeah, I used to love to use that word millennials. I mean, like I have a couple of friends that are millennials themselves. Millennials don't necessarily mean that they like 16 and 17, something like that. But one of my friends who is a millennial, I think he's like 35, 36. He was like, "Yeah, Kevin think everybody younger than him is millennials." Those goddamn millennials. Oh, y'all.
All right, Kev, I gotta get up out of here. But happy birthday again, Playboy.
Where? Yeah, yeah. And I appreciate, man. Appreciate you coming by, man. And, and thank you for joining me on this special birthday broadcast. So get out here, man. Take care of your business, man.
All right,
Long,
I'll let you later.
all right, long live, brother. Yeah. All right. Mahogany Roots and MJ. I'm not gonna put that. I'm not gonna put that. Comment up there telling your age or whatever. But I'm still older than you, and yes, it is my birthday. Yeah, it is my birthday. Well, at least for another 40, 53 minutes Eastern time. Yeah, Southeast Dusty, what's going on? Yeah, I appreciate all of y'all coming by, man. Appreciate all of y'all coming by. Give me birthday wishes. Yeah, so I guess when you're not that controversial, you're not going to get that much of a response for what this broadcast is for. And this is why. Oh, thank you for the super chat. with those little cute birthday emojis. Southeast Dusty. Oh, his birthday is coming up. He says he's turning 37 in a little bit. All right. All right. So happy birthday. Happy birthday to the Southeast Dusty. Uh, yeah. And what I was about to say was, I guess when you're not a boisterous, arrogant, loud, cocky, egomaniac with a really huge case of Highlander complex, that when you try to do broadcasts that answer questions such as these, then you're probably not going to get much of a response. Not because of, whatever lack of popularity, is because maybe that I just get along and I'm cool with people. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, the interactions I've had since I've been on the platform have been kind of cool, even from people who are volatile toward me, sort of, so to speak. I haven't had any really horrible interactions just yet. I may get a little dicey, not spicy, dicey. I consider that to be something different. It's something I used to say as a kid, like when I'm being some would call petty. I should have just used petty in the first place, but I can get a little petty in these chats. I've said a couple things in Mahogany's chat, and Mahogany actually kind of got a little what, and I mean that's normal shit. That's normal shit. I respect your position, believe me. But I've said things in chats, but outside of that, doing these broadcasts, I've had people to actually kind of try to throw some energy at me that was like that, and then by the end of it, we were all cool. See, that feels good to be able to accomplish. But I will be having a more brutally honest days. Like I might make it a holiday thing, like Thanksgiving, have another brutally honest day after y'all get through eating and shit. Or Christmas. Oh, oh. Let me see if I can authenticate her. Yeah, this is okay. Oh, look, it's Mahogany. What's going on, Mahogany?
Hi, how you doing? I'm not echoing, right? I'm always worried that I'm echoing.
No, you're not echoing.
Good. Yes, I wanted to say happy birthday. No, sometimes I stroll through like at night. I can't sleep. So,
Oh,
and I know that you go late. I just do my rounds. I listen to a lot of people, but I listen to you sometimes. So
mm,
I didn't know it was your birthday, but happy birthday.
thank you,
Um,
Mahogany. I
you're
appreciate that.
welcome. You know what's so funny? I don't remember you ever saying anything in my chat, anything. I never really see you. I know. First of all, I wanted to say thank you a long time ago for giving me a ranch. You probably did it to protect me.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we have to because of the volatile circumstances in these little gender wars. I know that I can't control everyone, and the moderators there are their own people. But I did not give you that wrench to protect you. I gave you that wrench because you were one of the first people that ever showed up when I started doing lives.
Oh, I
You
didn't
know,
even know that. But I do. I come around. I'm usually like in and out listening. Your voice is very calm. Well,
uh,
I thought, see, I just assumed that because I have been, you're right. There's some people that just don't want women around in their chats, and that's fine. Well, not the host, but the mod. Yeah.
yeah, and I mean, like, there's a lot of gender tension, and I mean, I have this crazy idea that I would like to one day solve it so we can move on. But
Woo.
I do understand that some of it is entertainment for people as well. So I don't want to get rid of all of it, just the ones that may be fracturing us as a people, so
But you know what? Um, I guess it's entertainment for the people on here, but I find it highly disturbing. I think I guess I'm just old fashioned. I find it disturbing. I hate to see us kind of at war. It's not my life. I've always said that. Like, I don't have a gender war. It's not like my reality.
Yeah.
people in my family, we get along, and friends, like we get along with each other. I've never had an issue with a man. Like, you know what I mean? Like I've never had that issue. It's a bit well, now it's not. I'm used to it, but when I first really started listening, which was a long time ago, it really was like mind-boggling to me. I couldn't believe it.
Couldn't believe what?
Some of the things I heard from both sides, to be honest, and
Yeah.
it's bad on both sides. That's the thing about it. Um, but just things like, that just people wishing harm on the opposite sex, like waiting for I mean, I don't know the whole winter is coming thing, just waiting for people to be homeless and destitute. And then the women are just as bad. They're, these men this and these men that, and I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, you sound so miserable. And
Uh,
so I don't actually fare too well in this space because I try to be balanced and I try to be like down the middle, and that is not popular at all.
yeah, like a lot of the conflict and a lot of the beefs draw a lot of attention. A lot of the, and I say that a lot of these people gravitate toward the more dramatic channels because they're coping mechanisms. You know,
Yes.
yeah, it's a lot of us out here have made mistakes that we don't want the accountability for. And we say accountability a lot. We say that women have a problem with accountability, but I do believe that's something that's across the board for our people. There's a lack of accountability, and
I'm
it's like,
so Oh, I'm sorry.
and I see it in females and I see it in males as well. And I'm not saying that just to pacify you, saying the males too or whatever. But I've gotten into lots of run ins with males on social media just over, philosophical disagreements and, disagreeing over the way that things are going in our community and solutions themselves. And those conversations usually get nowhere because once you disrespect me, then I start sinking and start doing a little rabbit hole conversation where I start to pull them in and start baiting them and stuff, and still that gets nowhere. But I'm here to just try to be the reasonable, give a reasonable perspective, and feel free to say when I'm not being reasonable for anyone. But if you feel as if I'm not being reasonable, then I'll explain to you, you know with respectful dialogue, why I feel the way I feel.
Well,
Eh,
Kev, I mean, like I said, the times I listen to you, a lot of times you have other people on your panel, and I never uh judge a host by the panel because I've had all kinds of people on my panel. It doesn't mean that I agree with everything that's being said. Doesn't mean I disagree. I'm just the host, and I try to remain neutral with people. Um, and so whenever you're talking, I've never heard you say anything. I will confess something to you. Um, I've been wanting to say this to you for a while. Um, I always wondered, and I still can't figure it out. Um, well, I'll deal with you personally because I was going to say something about the men in the space, and I don't understand why I don't get more support from some of the men in the space. But I want to deal with you. I never really understood. I felt that you kind of like some of the things that I said, maybe, but I never see you in the chat, so I just felt like, does he not like me? Sometimes I sit back and I wonder, like, what am I saying? Why are the men not understanding that I'm not like the enemy? That I'm actually pro family and a lot of things that they want. I'm actually that. Uh, People don't realize this, but I'm actually a little bit more conservative than I am progressive. Like I pride myself in being down the middle, but I'm actually kind of conservative when it comes to family and marriage and relationships. And I just don't know why it seems like a lot of men don't seem to understand that about me.
uh, well, I'll put it to you this way: you're a woman. I'll put it to you this way, and it's nothing personal, especially with me, because I do respect you. I do consider you one of the beautiful black women that should get more support in the space because you have a pretty reasonable balance. Um, However, sometimes it will be the company you keep. And, sometimes the more unsavory characters do have a tendency to gravitate toward you. Not to say that I blame you for that or anything, but say for instance there's one guy that says that we misuse stats in the black manosphere and we condone rape, pedophilia, and molestation, which I will push back against forever. And I've always said, and I've always stated that if there are guys that are in this space that are like this, point me to them. Point me to them, and I have no problem disparaging that guy. But I never get a response for that. Um, those guys, I don't like as far as your own channel. Um, let me even take them out of the context. If you have agreed with any of the statements that those guys have said, maybe you do have guys in the space who know what those guys are about. They have seen you around those guys. Maybe they thinking that you agree with their philosophies or such. I'll explain that to you in this context. And I'm glad you cleared that up for me. You saying that you don't blame me for the guys that appear on my panel. uh,
Uh-huh.
I do get that, but some of the same, some guys don't feel the same way I do. I don't blame you for those guys. I see you as Mahogany Roots and MJ. That's what I see.
Oh,
That's how I've always seen you. You know.
I'm
uh,
so glad that we had this and I'm not gonna keep you long because I'm actually um I took a nap, I woke up, and I heard you were on. I listened for a little while, and I'm actually gonna get ready to get up out of here and go to the gym. I usually a lot of times, like I said, when you come on late, I'm kind of an early bird, so a lot of times I'm like on my way to bed, but I'm trying to get it together. So I'm actually going to the gym before I go to bed. But
okay.
I just want to say I'm glad we had this conversation because I never thought about that, to tell you the truth. I never thought about it. I know that I've had a few explosions, very rare, but with a few
Mm,
people in the past, and I thought maybe that's it, maybe because people will pick and choose sides and they don't really understand what's going on
yeah.
sometimes. But that makes sense.
Yeah, and I mean, and I think you have a very good operation over there, and as long as you are consistent, I don't think you have anything to worry about. Just anybody that comes around you, you use them to help and achieve and move along your greatness as far as your platform. Because I tune in with quite a few of your videos when you're doing
Really?
yeah, when you're doing other stuff besides, just kind of talking shit. Like you got in
I
somebody's
don't.
ass the other day. I saw that.
Oh, you did. But
I
you
saw
know
that.
what, Kev, let me. I don't mean to interrupt you, Susie, but
No,
do
no.
you know how rare that is? I can count on one hand how many times that's happened. That person came for me first.
No,
That's
no, cool, cool. No, no. Everybody should have a right to defend themselves. Period. Male or female. I don't feel like that men should be overly domineering toward females and just make them feel weak and helpless. In fact, I like badass chicks. I do. I mean, chick. Sorry, chick is such a. Sorry about that, woman. You're badass women. I would say. So it's okay to hear that kind of fiery passion come from a female. And I mean, and it's okay. You're not supposed to just let people run you over like that. For what I'm saying for people is when black men are being disparaged and there's a black man that says something back, then you should understand the same thing. Not you personally, but
Uh-huh.
for whoever is listening. So I get it, but I do kind of watch your stuff when you are at least trying to have a good time. And I wish that content like that would get more support.
Oh,
You are saying other things besides the other stuff.
and you know what, Kev? And first of all, thank you guys. Thank Sir Anthony. He said he liked the veterans panel, and Jefferson. I love Jefferson. Is so funny to me. And everybody, shout out to the chat. I just want to say this before I hop down. I appreciate the time. And I'm glad I came up here because I every time I listen to you, I sit up there and I wonder that, like, what did I say? But I'm glad to know because that's the thing, like, we don't know unless we ask. I will say this, um, just to let you know. So I kind of I move and mingle throughout the space, right? I don't actually know everybody's talking points the way people might think that I do. And uh like, you know what I mean? I might listen in, but I don't know every single thing that everybody's involved in. And so that's all I can say on that. But
Uh,
no,
but
no.
before you leave, let me say this. Um, if you're hearing a lot of the negative things, and I recommend this for anybody, just check it out for yourself. I mean, you can make the choice of listening to whoever you want to say something about someone else that you've never heard talk or speak. Uh, and that's your choice. But my recommendation is to always just do the research for yourself because, I mean, as good as friends that people say that they are to some of us, sometimes you never can tell. So that's pretty much it. But you're a grown ass woman. I'm a grown ass man, and we it's great that we're able to communicate like two mature thinking adults. you know.
Oh yeah, well you're cool in my book. Like that's I don't know what else to say. You know what I'm gonna do? This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go back and listen through. Sometimes I do that when I have time. I'll go back and I'll almost do like a playlist. I'll just listen through a few of your videos and listen to you. But I want you to know because I am kind of a neutral space. You're always welcome. You're always welcome to come over there and talk to me. And I'll be making my way over here more. I did make my way over to the Roger Report one time, and that was cool. I saw
Yeah,
his
I've seen you on Roger's panel. Yeah,
um
Roger carries his panels pretty good.
yes,
And he understands that the position sometimes that we put females in to at least give them the chance to express themselves, just like I don't believe in just letting the guys dominate when they're speaking to females. I believe that females should be heard, and if you disagree, at least have the chance to defend yourself. It can't just be a shit fest. So
right. And you know what? I see people don't even pay attention, but I've had to do that too with a woman or two. That my whole thing is we're all adults and we can act accordingly and respect each other. Let people talk, don't interrupt. Let people have practice some self-control. Let people have their opinions. They're entitled to it, and move the conversation forward. So, like you said, I'm glad that you said that. I've seen it go both ways, so I know very much what you're talking about. I know what you're saying is true. Um, well, I'm gonna call it a night, honey. I better get out here. It was nice talking to you.
it was very nice talking to you, Mahogany, and you're of course welcome at any time when I
Oh,
drop a link. And I will be sure to stop by your channel, especially when you're doing the live broadcast more often. So
awesome, awesome. Hey, go, Professor.
Hey, what's happening? What's
Hey,
happening?
I'm gonna listen, but I gotta get out of here and go to this gym. But I'll be listening. Thank you so much.
all right, you are welcome once again, Mahogany Roots and MJ. Thank you for stopping by, and thank you for wishing me a happy birthday.
Yes.
You made it mean that much more.
Well, I'll say this. Oh God, here I am being long-winded. I'm about well, I'll be 43 next year, and I know what you're talking about because when I got in my 40s, all of a sudden I started feeling these aches and pains. And I'm telling you, the answer is to keep it at bay. It's all about health and wealth and physical fitness. I'm big on that because I've actually had quite a few little health issues, and that I honestly believe that's why I'm still here is because of me kind of correcting things with my diet. But anyway, you guys, peace to you guys. I'll be listening, hon.
All right,
All right.
Mahogany. All right, Mahogany, and yes, that's one of those beautiful sisters that we often give compliments to. So just be nice and be gentle with her. She's one of the ones that's on our side, and she doesn't have to agree with us 100% in order to maintain that beauty. So remember that about Mahogany Roots and MJ. Just be mature, be objective, and you'll get treated well. That's a very feminine woman over there. So thanks once again to Mahogany Roots and MJ. But most welcome to the Gold Professor and Mr. Z of Black in
What's
Effect.
happening? What's
What's going
happening?
on, fellas? What's going on?
Happy came out your mama day, brother.
Yes, yes. That
Mr. Z,
afternoon.
what's good, brother? Mr. Z, what's good?
Yeah. So I don't know y'all been listening in, but this is a brutally honest day. But
Yes, sir.
yes, and I was
Apropos.
yes, and I was proposing that people who, I see so much vitriol for black men, that I was proposing that people would come up and express their disdain to a black man, since after all, this
Uh,
channel is named Black Men Being Brutally Honest, and
yes,
it's
sir.
always pointed toward black men. But I also had to understand and realize that coming up to this platform, I've also been kind of a very cool, chill, uh, little to no beef type of content creator. So to get that kind of controversy out of people might be a bit more difficult than someone who is boisterous and
Well,
controversial.
Kev,
You're
I have a
being way too
problem.
nice with the language. And I'm sorry, Gold Professor. In other words, you don't be with the bullshit. And because you don't be with the bullshit, people are less likely to come up here and start some shit. And I'll pause right there.
Kev, I have a problem with you. I have a problem with you, brother. I do. I'm
Okay.
gonna talk to you about it. I'm looking at your avatar. And I see the gray on your chin. See, that's a whole problem, brother. You looking mighty wise there, brother. And I'm kind of bothered by that. Why I can't
uh,
look wise like that, bro?
uh, g- g- Genetics and
Is that the genetics?
genetics, and gray is probably, we probably deal with things differently. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you might be making healthier choices than me. You might have found the fountain of youth.
I don't know, brother. I'm 52 and I might have a strand here or there of
I
gray hair.
mean,
Now, what the problem is, Kev?
I don't know. Maybe,
You said
maybe it's not a problem at all. Maybe you're just a very healthy man. You know.
Mhm.
is that what it is? So you're not healthy? You're not healthy, Kev?
I
What you
mean,
doing?
I could do. I'll say this: I could do more. I could do more. We can always do more. We're not perfect, but we can always strive to be. So,
I'm trying to let my wisdom shine, Kev.
well, I'll take that as a compliment. I'll take it as a compliment. But go, Professor. I often tune into your
You
morning.
got some background, Mr.
No,
Z.
that's me. That's me. Yeah. My apologies. What have
Yeah, I often tune into your morning show, man, and
Yes, sir.
yeah, you have a very good energy, man, for real. And that's why I
I
tune in.
appreciate it.
I mean, I like the bullshit free environment. I do.
Yes,
And
sir.
I strive to be a bullshit free environment. I can be a little petty with these titles sometimes, but it's all in good faith. It is.
Yes,
It
sir.
really is. And for you to have your morning show, I'm glad you came up, because I want you to keep pushing that morning show, and to don't change. If you want to work on your presentation or whatever, that's you. That's you completely. If you evolve into something else, but the spirit, man, please don't change that. I
Yes,
mean, for
sir.
real, because that's something that people like me need in the morning. We need to, we need to hear like a lot of your, affirmations, and the good word for the day is a good start to my day. And for those of you watching, I do put Gold Professors broadcast in my community tab. So if you're not subbed to him, sub and give him a listen. Give him a listen in the morning. It'll be a good start to your day.
Hey, you know what I always say, Kev? There's nothing wrong with speaking word into the universe. Ain't nothing wrong with a little prayer. You use the tools that are afforded to you to use. You know, you use everything that you can to keep you going. Okay. So ain't nothing wrong with the little prayer, speaking word into the universe. And I make it a point to not only speak word for myself, but I come on and speak it for you, everyone in the space, and then we keep it pushing. Especially for black men. Look, we have to, we have to pull ourselves together before we go out the door to go into a world that can be very detrimental to our being. We've seen this numerous times over, and uh, we strive to make it back home safely and do it again. So uh, I make it a point to say, hey, look, I speak word into the universe, do some exercises, and come on and speak more word and drink. I drank. Now for you guys don't know, I drink water every morning. I drank, right? And
Yeah,
I
that's
say
supposed
to
to be
you
the.
all, huh?
No, I say that's supposed to be like the first thing you do each day is to get up and drink a bottle of water, down one real quick. That's
There
how you
you
start your
go.
day.
I drank. Yeah, I make it a point to say I drank. And I say it funny, but I put it in a position where I drank that water. I've shown numerous times. Hey, I crack open. You guys hear me crack open a Pellegrino. I speak word into the universe. Talk about exercise. Do the sermon, and then end the sermon, and then I make it into the world, and go out there and do my thing with the hopes that I will make it back home safely in one piece so I can do it again. And I desire for you, especially black man, to do the same. That's me.
Well, if we're singing praises, I'll just add on to what Kev was saying by saying one of the first people in this space, if not the first person to tell me to start a channel, was Gold Professor.
Yes, sir.
So, you know, I
Yes,
will never
sir.
forget that. It was one of the first people like, Mr. Z, your perspectives is enlightening. You need to start a channel. And
Uh,
I finally did. It took forever in the day, but
and I
yeah,
locked you in. I locked
yeah,
you in,
yeah.
and if I make it a point to when you're on, I'm in the chat, or perhaps I'll come up or whatever have you. Just like I say, hey, rock with Kev, black man brutally being brutally honest. I have you in my morning mentions at times. When I'm doing morning mentions. Hey man, hey, look, if we're gonna be team, let's be team. Regardless, yeah, do we have infights? Sure. Okay. But at the end of the day, what are we talking about? How we can better each other. And that's where we're at.
I agree. No, and I definitely like the discipline you, Raj, and Kev show for your platforms. The way
Yes,
you
sir.
speak, the way you present ideas. Same thing with Raj and same thing with Kev. I think that's why I gravitate to y'all part of the Black Manosphere.
Yes, sir. Well, this doesn't take away from Kev and that gray on his chin. I still gotta. Yeah, I'm mad at his wisdom right now. You know what I'm saying?
That's
You
what they
ain't
say.
escaping that, brother.
Yeah, man. I mean, and that's what brings me so many intellectual people. I guess. I mean,
Yes,
like
sir.
like it's easy to be a nonsensical person, and you may even gain a viewership because of that. And
Yes,
there's
sir.
a lot of nonsensical people that gain viewerships, and they may be doing it for a hustle, and you can't knock the hustle if people choose to gravitate toward that. They do, but sensible people, they're worth more than their weight in gold. And
Uh-huh.
I will always value that, and I will always remember that, even if it becomes an influx of people who I would say have lesser minds or greater minds. I will always remember the first people who were here for that. And
Yes,
like
sir.
just like I was saying about mahogany, that's no kidding. When I first started doing lives, and when none of you guys knew who I was, or even Roger was for that moment, because it was me, it was Roger, it was Donnie, and it was a couple other folks that don't come around too much. Um, we were doing live broadcasts. It'd be one person, two people watching, and Mahogany would be one of those people. She'll drop by every now and again. I mean, I have to say, another person who was like that back in the day, somebody we don't see very often is Loadcast. Haven't seen that brother in a while. So,
Mhm.
shout out to him or whatever. But I mean, like I said, when I went and started doing the weekend show, then more of you guys started to pop up. And a lot of you guys actually came from Roger's channel when he started doing a morning show, which was inspired me to do the weekend show.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
if it's working for Roger and it's working for so many content creators, maybe I will have more to bring than just a few recorded videos on some news stories, or have some short commentaries or whatever. I could have these panels like this too and have conversations with um, uh, intellectual people who I could learn a lot of valuable things from.
Yes, sir.
Just not only things like that'll help me financially, but for my life.
Right.
And
Right.
this is something that I feel motivated to do for a long time. And I just like a lot of you guys that are here, like Sir Anthony, who is here very often, or Phil Brad. I'm
Mhm.
listening, Ken seeing red. Hope to see y'all. I hope all of you guys stick with me and stick with Roger and stick with the habitual line steppers to see our the evolution that we know we're going to be at one day.
Right. Right.
We
Right.
I'm
Mhm.
saying we'll always remember you guys for that.
Yes,
You
Shout
sir.
know.
out to Sir Anthony for real. Sir Anthony, I think he's watched every one of my videos. That brother be encouraging me in the comments when I be battling people sometimes. Like, yeah, shout out to Sir Anthony for real.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
You
That's
know,
some. Go, Professor.
I'm gonna just say, Sir Anthony, he be in the chats and all. I know he's collecting information to start his channel. I'm inspiring him too, because I'll be over there at his channel too, listening to Sir Anthony. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Well, the lead attorney who has just started to blow up himself. I mean, this is a guy who's an attorney, who a practicing attorney, telling people, especially if you're over 40, to start a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I mean, that should tell you a lot. Start a YouTube channel. There's so much money on the table for that, and
Mhm.
not just for money. I mean, we all love money, but just to find a certain purpose. You know,
Yes, sir.
to
Yes,
find a
sir.
certain purpose, to be able to reach people, and to basically create correct the narratives that have done so much damage to us,
Right.
because in this space we have a really huge outreach. I mean,
Right.
some of us are bigger than others, obviously,
Hmm.
but that's a great thing to see black men actually trying. And although that is just words are very impactful,
Yes,
and
sir.
they could translate into tangible differences. And a lot of these content creators, I will say, like Green Gorilla, there's a few guys that are actually in the community that have boots to the ground, that's actually
Hmm.
making a difference in the lives of our young people, and
Hmm.
some of us older ones too. So when they look at the space as this narrow mind, like with this narrow minded scope, like all we do is disparage women, then that really is a great disservice to the people who could benefit from it, who haven't come to this space yet.
The thing is though, we're not asking a whole lot. That's the killer part about it, right? We're not asking a whole lot. Okay. You know, when we ask for, hey, we want to experience some cooperation. We want to experience uh, a beautiful attitude. Okay. And not for the temporary time, for the longevity of the time. We want to experience this. Okay. So when you say to us, when people say to us, hey, black man, you need to correct your behavior. You need to get it right. You need to do. And we say, okay, yeah, okay. We correct these things, but we acknowledge the extenuating factors that contribute to the issue. Okay. And we say, oh, hold on. Okay. We're correcting the issue. Now these factors need to be corrected, but yet they stay out of pocket. That's what we're addressing. We're saying, look, you wanted us to, we got all this information. We're making the corrections with all the information. We're acknowledging that here are some factors that are contributing to what the problem is. We say, correct that. But if we're experiencing the people not applying correction, why are people mad at us when we acknowledge it and say, hey, look, all we're asking for is some cooperation, beautiful attitude, have yourself together, at least work towards it physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. Why is it a problem?
Well, Gold Professor, as a black man, are you deserving of cooperation? You know, I'm being facetious with the question. You know where I'm going with this.
I know. Yeah. Okay. I'm a render a facetious answer. Okay. So, am I deserving of such? Of course I am, being that I am one who, now I can only speak for myself, being I am one who is taking care of myself physically. I get up and speak word into the universe. I exercise. I eat right. I'm on my purpose. I come with benefits. Okay. I'm a working man and I can take care of my unit. Yes, I'm deserving of such. What I'm not deserving of is non-cooperation, a bad attitude, and one who doesn't desire to take care of themselves as well. I don't deserve that person. That person deserves someone who is completely out of pocket to handle
But
that behavior.
but Gold Professor, you have admitted that you're a black man though. So I
Oh
don't know.
yes,
I
yes,
don't I
sir.
don't know. That's a couple of strikes against you. I don't know if you're
That
deserving
might
of
be
what
the
these
strike
things you're
zone.
asking for.
Yeah, I'm a brother, and I'm together.
Yeah, you might be asking for too much.
I'm asking
I'm
too much.
joking. I'm so joking.
Yeah, and I'm well spoken. You know what I'm saying? I'm one who will say no. That's what we ain't gonna do. No, I ain't trying to hear that. No, you can't do that. No, no. Look, you know what? You need some no in your life. That's a whole problem, Mr. Z. That's a whole problem, sir. Yeah, maybe that's what it is, Kev. Kev, I need some wisdom, brother. Go ahead. Give me
Hey,
some of that gray hair, man.
yeah, I don't know if you're gonna receive any wisdom at this second because guess what, Mr. Z? For some reason somebody pressed the dislike button. So you know what happens every
What?
time. Every time somebody presses that dislike button,
This
I
is
gotta
a
play some.
theme.
Yeah, yeah. Like so, whoever did that, thank you for the dislike. Thank you very much. I
Hey,
appreciate that. Why do
Kev,
you know?
you know
Go
what
ahead.
I say. Hit that dislike button if you got attitude. It still it
It
still
ain't.
works.
I mean, it ain't gonna change my rhetoric. I mean,
Yeah.
thank you for letting me know that I've done at least one small thing right today.
Yeah.
No, they mad because Because Gold Professor had the unmitigated gall, the gumption, and the audacity to say he says no. No?
You need some no in your life. you need some. You need some no in your life. Yeah, that's why you got that dislike here.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
gall of you, sir. The gall to
I
say
know, man.
no to
I know.
women. To
I
black
know.
women? Oh, no.
yeah,
Tell
yeah.
them I want them to cooperate and have a beautiful attitude and have themselves together physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. Yeah, Kev, I'm gonna own that dislike, brother.
No, that sounds like a misogynistic, like freaking anti-woman, sexist. What's the other words they're using? No, sir.
Yeah.
Talk about the male gaze.
Right?
Yeah. I'm asking too much of that woman to
Mm-hmm.
You're
I'm asking too much from her. It's too much.
You are mansplaining.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm asking for her to have a beautiful attitude, I'm asking her not to engage in the Cleon mating strategies.
Yeah, I see King of Kadesh down there. King of Kadesh, what's going on? Thanks for stopping by. I've seen you on Roger's channel before. So yeah, shout out. Yeah, it tells you about the habitual line steppers. You know, we attract great people, and we great people go from channel to channel with us. So yeah, thanks for coming by. So anyway, yeah, I'm having a good time with this broadcast. I thought that
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I thought that I would at least get a little bit of negative feedback, but I guess I'm just a little bit too cool.
Kev is looking for negative feedback on his birthday. What type of foolishness?
I know. What the problem is, Kev?
No, I just want to know why people they have all these disparaging attitudes toward black men. But I guess I can get this brutally honest day going some other time. But like I was explaining, when you're cool with all these people, it's hard to find a hater.
Well, I'm hating on you. I'm hating on your wisdom right now, Kev.
Okay, yes.
I still ain't letting it go, man. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get a fake beard and paint it gray.
Not the fake beard.
The fake beard.
Yeah, you're gonna get accused. You're gonna get accused of man weave.
I know, right?
See, they like weave too.
I know. He got a weave on.
I don't want to hear nothing else about y'all saying nothing about weave. I said, I'm gonna say it.
You see him with his weave on, and he painted it gray. He dyes his hair too.
Like, I say I'll be sure to say it 5 times tomorrow.
I know, right? Yeah,
but
Gold Professor went and got a man weave.
You see, I told you they secretly on the deal. See, now they imitating us. Now they getting weave beards and extension on their mustache.
I know, right? What's happening?
Shit.
Woo!
Oh shit! We got the whole catch of the Hidden Hood Village.
Charles Faulkner, officer of the daggone law,
the most powerful man in the universe.
Officer.
And my personal favorite.
Yeah, but he's from Baltimore, so do you count any of that though?
Yes, he did. I counted more than be coming from Plastic City, Mattel.
Look, I'd rather be from Plastic City than no building ass city. DC Junior ass.
We got we're actually so separate from DC that we're actually our own country. Now look, it's not my fault that you look like a botched surgery. Abortion, that is.
Here we go.
This is me and Charles' intro always. I started it though.
The land. Yep, he's from the land of fake titties. Okay, you gotta love it.
This is
Yeah.
true. This is true. I think Miami might only be second place to LA when it comes to plastic surgery, at least in the
That
country.
might.
How you doing,
Yeah.
Charles, sir? Officer of the daggone law. How you doing, sir?
Yeah. It feels good being the officer of the goddamn law
Yes,
sometimes.
sir. Yes, sir. How you
I'll
doing
just say
today?
I'm just chilling.
Okay.
I've
Okay.
noticed one thing about people.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people are stupid.
Okay.
Revelation.
Okay.
Oh man.
Okay.
Oh, you went over
Okay.
the information bomb with that one. Yeah, but further
Yeah.
elaborate, sir.
Yeah.
And,
Elaborate on that.
You have
and
our
the
ears. You
reason
have our ears.
and the
Yeah.
reason why people are stupid, it's because when a black man speaks openly about his experience in America, which hasn't been so nice to him, even your women be like, well, you need to hush down. And then you just look over there and glaze over there when she's like, you can't talk about that. You need to speak up for black women. And you give her the same treatment somebody would give you and be like, nigga, please. If I don't speak up for me, who will? Like, you
Even
gotta
other
think
black
about
men won't.
Yep. You gotta think about it historically. In the Civil War, black men freed Lincoln and their women and children. And what's the thanks that we get? You stabbing us in the back in the 60s. Hell, you complain about we get the big piece of chicken. Shit that's not even really tangible. But think about this. I can't even see my child. How many times you heard that from a black man? Because of a bit of black baby mama. But once a person goes over to Africa, Brazil, Southeast Asia, the Middle East to find a wife, you let your bitterness fester and make an aura around you like you just got Super Saiyan blue or some shit. Or some ultra instinct, bitterness. I don't know. You need to stop. You need to stop coming over here, going over there, and go to a real woman, your black woman.
Your
Are you
your
thinking
your
to
mama
yourself?
black. Your mama black.
And my rebuttal to that is I'm not fucking my mother. I don't do that shit. I told
Who
them,
hurt you? Your mama black.
like who hurt me? Um, I'll tell you who hurt me.
Yeah.
All the disrespectful ain't shit black women. That's
Uh-huh.
who hurt you.
Uh-huh.
I was like,
Yeah.
think about it. How many of you? I've asked the girl who I was seeing at the time, like, what? Why didn't you go? Why didn't you try to get married younger? At 23, I wasn't ready. I'm like, so you're gonna be ready at almost 40? You're devalued. And I never seen a creature that's so vain that they think at 50 they still the hottest shit on the block.
Shout out to Vivica A. Fox. Oops.
Vivica
Yeah.
Fox looked like a retired boxer. Now,
Shout out to Lisa Ray. Oops.
Lisa Ray looked like she was
Yeah.
her sparring partner.
Shout out to
Yeah.
what's her name? That used to be on Corey's show. God damn. I just thought about her name. Damn it. The mixed Italian one. Mm. Claudia Jordan. Shout out to Claudia Jordan.
And
She's
Claudia Jordan looked like the villain off a Disney fucking movie.
I actually like Claudia Jordan, but goddamn.
Yeah.
God damn.
Well, damn.
Like
Like
she
you
looked
talking about
like
she Ursula?
man, she looked like if I had to speak to that bitch, I was like, don't you gotta make poison apples for Snow White? Don't do something to her.
Shout out to Janet Jackson.
Yeah.
Like
Also, let me shout out a couple people. A Lion in the Winter. What's going on? Village Arsonist TV. What's up, man? Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, no, we're just having a brutally honest day. here, and it's my birthday. It's I'm
Happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you, Officer Faulkner. And my age is Donald Trump's number in the presidency, so I'm going to have a lot of attention for no reason coming my way. And people don't even know
Okay.
why themselves. So
Okay.
yeah, it's all good though. But
Yeah.
um, like really, I was looking like, and Officer Faulkner, I'm glad that you said some of the things you said because you're offering a proper context. I was really looking for some of those people who like to say so many of these awful things about us black men to us black men. And I was going to let them have the floor and I was going to let them speak and say what they got to say. And I wanted to really see would it make sense to me what they were saying. And because I'm not a very open-minded person when it comes to dialogue like that.
See,
Yeah.
this is the problem. They're not going to come up. I was on Platinum Elite's channel explaining the difference to this one lady on you're being with a guy for 17 years and not married. That's on you. Well, I like my space. No, no, no.
I
This is the
remember that
reason why.
conversation.
And I said, this is the reason why you modern women fuck up. Because you don't want to submit to a man. He wasn't good enough to live with, but he was good enough to take his money, right?
Hmm.
And I
I
asked her
remember that
that.
conversation.
And,
Yeah,
and,
you
and then
did.
here comes some old bitch. And we're gonna refer to her as some old bitch because she is some old bitch.
I probably
This
heard
old
the
bitch,
title.
That's a new way of
yeah,
saying SOB, bro.
some old bitch, and she comes up there when I said from 15 to almost 30, almost 15 years, women are rock stars. You'll do what the fuck y'all please, especially if you're at least a 7 or above, or sometimes even a 6. She comes up there trying to say, "Oh, I told you he a pervert. He looking at 15-year-old girls is women." So I proceeded for the next 10 minutes to cuss her out viciously because she deserves it. And I will say this to every black man: stop being merciful to these bitches because they ain't gonna be merciful to you. And the saddest part about it is this this dummy didn't even take what I said in context properly. You don't even have to do anything illegal. All you have to do is just speak around these idiots, and they will misconstrue every damn word you say. They're not going to come up because they're cowards.
Yeah, no, I
Even
agree
when
with that.
even when hiding behind the veil of the internet, they are still cowardly.
Why you say that? Because you might actually say something that actually would make sense, and they can't push back on. So what'll happen is they'll degrade the insults anyway. You know.
This is what they'll do. You ain't saying nothing that's factual. What about the black men who hurt black women? Okay, go to that. We'll go to that one right now. Because 67% of domestic violence in the black community, the woman is the aggressor. So how about that shit? Almost
Uh oh.
70%. Most black men is like, if you don't fuck with me, I don't fuck with you. But no, you like to poke the fucking bear.
My question
Literally.
is, if the black man, you got all the history now, right? You got 50 to 100 years of information about the black man, right? If you got all this information and you've determined that the black man is not about nothing, not productive, not marriage material, he don't take care of his kids, he's incarcerated, he's an aggressor, all the information, then why do you even deal with him? Why do you get mad when he says,
Let me answer
okay,
that.
hold on? Why
Hmm.
do you get mad when we say, okay, we're gonna date Mei Ling or yeah, Maria, we gonna go and, you know, mess around with Becky and give her 5 kids and have a life together. And why you mad? There you go, Mr. Z. Go ahead.
Do they have the options that way? If your if
Uh,
the if your reputation precedes you, and even in the dating world, the marriage world, you're not faring that well, and that's offline and online. Those online dating apps just a very blatant example that you may not be the most sought after. Now, I think what ends up happening often is that you can give us all the attitude, you can be mean spirited to us, you can be insulting and belittling to us, you can do all of that under the guise of constructive criticism and try to be motivating and whatever other crap language that you try to use. But you can't take that anywhere else. Nobody else is engaging in that with you, right? And so it's a way of saying, I don't want you maybe, but I need you. Or I want you some days and I don't want you other days, but I need you almost always. That sounds like an R&B song. So I think that's one of the issues that we're dealing with. But that's more for your age group and Kev's age group. When you come down to millennials, they think they could swirl. That so they're not even really on the same thing anymore. And definitely
They can't,
Generation Z.
they can't even do that properly. You see them crying in
That's true.
cars.
Well,
yeah.
that's true. No, you're right.
Yeah, they grind. But look. The real deal is, regardless if they're in my range, Generation X, Millennials, uh, A or Z, they still carry this mindset that things are supposed to bounce off their butts, like it's the thing, and I posed the question. You know, I mean, I ask these questions because you know, I experience it in my age range, and I see my nephews, which who are 20, 25, experience the same thing. So, is it that uh, the idea of cooperating or getting on that man's purpose is far out of reach?
It is definitely out of reach because you're dealing with a creature that thinks she's better than you.
Mhm,
Exactly.
You're dealing with a
mhm.
creature that does not want to submit to you.
Don't even
You know,
want to
she
cooperate. Forget submit, Charles.
don't even want to say, we'll look for the argument. The sky's blue. No, it isn't. It's turquoise.
So let me ask you guys: is it that she doesn't believe that she can win on a regular, consistent basis, and she has to make decisions that may not benefit her? She thinks they does, but they don't. Is it that she doesn't see that she can win, or
Mm.
is it that she thinks, I can win that anytime?
The best way for me to answer this while also giving them a bone, this is about white capital. White capital dangled carrots, and everybody talks about the welfare thing. It's bigger than the welfare thing, even in academia. White capital dangled a particular set of positions. It dangled, yes, like we said, welfare queen. It dangled um media space. That's how you get Oprah, right? It dangled that, and it chose who it saw as less threatening to occupy these positions, and it wasn't black men. And so what we're dealing with is a system propping up black women to make these type of decisions that and this is going to what you're saying, Gold Professor, that in the long run causes them to be lonely, bitter, and angry if they weren't already, right? and
Uh-huh.
and an inflated sense of ego because they do not count how much this system is built off of murdering black men and then giving black women the I don't know, whatever comes from that. So you can use BLM as an example. Kill George Floyd, but whatever accesses come from that, black BLM gets to dibble and dabble and waste and give to whatever other subgroups of whoever the hell, but straight black men get nothing from that, right?
But look,
So
So
but
so
look at what
they're
happened
so
with that.
they're so
Look at
they're
what happened.
tired of winning, huh? So they're
Look
tired
at.
of winning.
They're not even winning. That's the bad part.
yeah,
This
now
is the
Charles was
sad.
right.
They're tired
This
of
is the.
winning.
This is the sad part. They're not even winning. Look at
Oh,
BLM.
shit.
Look at
Yeah.
BLM. When you the number one, black men should have shut that shit down a long time ago. Notice once all the victims of like Mike Brown and all these other places. Notice when BLM was getting the money and they said, "Wait a minute, y'all made money off of my son's name. Where's the money y'all supposed to produce?"
Tamir
I'm
Rice
gonna
mom.
step to real rice, and I'm like, yo. Notice you start hearing, "Oh, I'm gonna step down." You knew they were full of shit as soon as you start seeing where the fuck they were buying houses.
Hey,
They're
family.
lesbian women. Think about this. Oh, they're for their people, but who are they dating? Some crusty ass white women.
Hey, family. I
Trans
have to
women,
push
sir.
out.
Correction, trans women.
I have to push out. But hey, Kev, I want you to have a good night. Don't eat too much cake, brother.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. If you eat a cake, make it vegan.
Vegan. Yeah, yeah, and
Make it
yeah,
vegan.
you've been talking that health stuff, man. So
Uh,
I have to,
uh,
I have to touch base with you on that, man,
I
because
didn't know you can. I didn't know
I
you can make it. Well, you said don't eat cake if it's gonna be cake. Make it vegan. I didn't know you can make an ass cheek vegan.
Hysterical.
Hey, Kev, you gonna be chewing some booty tonight, brother?
hey, I am, I am married. That
Yeah.
option is
Oh,
certainly there.
okay?
Ah,
Okay. Go ahead, chew that booty, Kev. It's
I
good
go,
for you.
hey,
Professor.
look,
Good
we
for you,
hey,
brother.
hey, 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 we ain't nobody got nothing negative to say about that.
Nothing
You do your
negative, brother. Go
man's
ahead.
work,
Go ahead, brother. You doing all right, brother.
right?
You married. Your woman is afforded the right to have you eat the booty.
Right?
You know,
If there's anybody you're gonna do
Well,
it
let's
to,
not. Let's not get too personal. But I'll tell you this, Gold Professor. I will be. I will be tuning in tomorrow morning. I'll say
Yes,
that.
sir. Yes, sir.
you
Ah,
know,
you gonna need a prayer for tomorrow, huh?
right?
Oh yeah.
uh,
Oh yeah.
whatever. Just add the icing. That's all. Just add the icing.
I'm out,
God.
fellas. I'm
All
gone,
right.
All right,
Look,
Gold Professor.
I gotta stay away from Goat Professor because my diet is complete trash. Okay, and Goat Professor gonna have me not eating all the fucked up, disgusting stuff that I like that tastes good, but it's really not good for you. So yeah, I gotta stay away for now.
Right.
Actually, I
Laying that
probably
meat.
should actually start listening to him more because I am 35 as of last week. So yeah,
Well,
Get some
happy
chicken though.
belated birthday, brother. Happy
thanks,
belated.
bro. Yeah, we Virgo
Happy
brothers, bro.
birthday. But if we was my
Shut
life.
your
Dot
ass
com.
up, sir.
Yeah,
Shut
shut
up.
your ass.
Want to hear from your Aries ass?
Set this, of course, the best. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. And shut your Virgo if I was high 24/7 was a person ass life.
Right? Yes. That. Yeah, my girlfriend probably wouldn't agree with you. She's like, this nigga talking about so much depressing shit. Jeez. But I don't know. I'm like that. I could talk about it and then be laughing and giggling like I usually do because I know life is real. So why you can talk about it and work on being the best you can be, but like letting that depression like hold you down? Hell no. That's why you talk about it.
I'll be like, hey, let's look at depression.
All right.
Hey, grab that bottle of cognac first. Here we go.
For
Grab
me,
that
it's
cigar
plum
too.
wine, sir. Plum wine.
Yeah, you gotta understand, Kev. He gets his bathrobe. Puts on his little gets his
Kev
bathrobe,
don't know, Charles.
gets
He
his
don't know
little
about the
mask,
running joke.
gets his mask on. You know, he has the little dividers in his toes with the little flip flops on.
Oh
Not
man.
the dividers.
Oh man.
and then he gets the little glass of plum wine, and he gets that Corella Deville extender to the cigarette.
Okay, so Kev, to fill you in. So one night I was on a live, and my girl was having something done to her house. She stays with her parents, and so we rented a hotel, and me and her had a room, and her parents had another room. But we were in the room her parents were in, and so I'm drinking plum wine with them, and we watching My 600 Pound Life. And hey, so I was talking to Charles and BGS, and I told him about it, and ever since then it's been the plum wine, bro. So that's what it is.
He
Plum
had
wine.
he had
Yep.
his leg crossed over his knee.
Nah, I gotta have my leg crossed over shit.
He said he had a.
He had a fucking bonnet on. God damn.
Uh,
Hysterical.
no, I was about to say the hot towel, the hot warm
Uh,
towel wrapped around his head
uh,
But here's
with
the
the
killer,
line.
right? A couple months later, I went to North Carolina to meet up with her people or whatever, and then I had moonshine. Nigga, that moonshine, Kev, it fucked me all the way up.
It was
I
smooth.
threw it for the first time ever.
It was smooth as fuck too, wasn't
Yeah, bro.
it?
But Kev, I didn't realize what was happening. All I knew, I was like, oh shit. And then I
but
went to the bathroom and it was done. I KO'd. I don't remember anything for like 2 hours after
but
that.
here's the crazy part, Kev. A strong Coke would usually get him intoxicated.
Shut your ass up.
Oh, he takes it off of there. He's like Coca Cola,
No,
Coca Cola.
but look, Kev,
He
I done
sniffs the
tried
tops.
all the shit, all the. I'm not a I'm not an alcohol connoisseur like Charles and whatnot, but I've tried so much different shit. I just didn't have a problem drinking plum wine with my girlfriend. I mean, that's what we was doing, so that's what we was doing. What I'm gonna have her drink some fucking hard ass liquor because I'm drinking it? Nah, So just drink the plum wine because that's what was there.
She was like, "Baby, drink this plum wine." And he's like, and you know how he's doing, like, ooh.
Actually, she didn't ask me to. She just was like she. As a matter of fact, I went back upstairs to get the bottle because her mom asked for it. So I went back upstairs to get the bottle from our room and brought it back down and
And
whatever,
see
whatever.
what happened was he was like,
Hmm.
spill the tea.
No, remember I was watching My 600 Pound Life with the heavy set ass Mexican kid.
Mm-hmm. Just with his legs crossed. Got the
Hysterical,
whole.
Hey, speaking of 600 pounds, wife, how the hell do you get up to 600 pounds?
bruh,
Easy. Saying fuck my life.
bruh.
That's what you say.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah,
That shit's
Look like
ridiculous.
yeah, but here it is, fellas. It's
Mhm.
been nearly 3 hours, and we was talking about birthday cake earlier, so let's
Go
yeah
I
let,
ahead,
told you.
Kev.
let's get some final statements in, so I can go ahead and have
Um.
me a good night's sleep.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you gonna be sleep all right.
All right.
He gonna be like 45. He gonna grab her right in the up. There you go.
Oh man, well, Kev said
Woo! Happy birthday, Kev.
his nose about to disappear in something real quick. Anyway,
Yeah.
and it's not powder, but but all right,
Unless he
Kev,
adds it.
right
Nah,
to
no.
his hand. Oh man, pow. No, but Kev, happy birthday, man. It's good coming on your channel. Like I said, I really appreciate how tight of a ship you run, Raj, Go Professor. Y'all definitely show me how if I when I do start my lives, how to be disciplined and get things on point. But yeah, bro, just that's all I could say. Just happy birthday, bro.
Well, happy birthday, man. And remember, motorboat.
Woo!
Motorboat. All right. Now, all jokes aside, this was a brutally honest day, and I was glad I was able to come forth and be brutally honest with you guys and the guests as well. Um, yeah, this was a fun conversation. It could be like Officer Faulkner says. It could be that people have that little cowardly touch,
And although they'll stay in their spaces all day saying all the shit they want, they maybe that they don't really know how to say these things to a black man for real. That's why they stay in spaces conducive and agreeable to Roger. Roger, are you ready to come up and say some shit? Well, here it is. The link is in the description if you like to come up and yeah, he doing the elbow cough, so I guess that's supposed to suggest something to me or to someone in that chat. So the link is in the description. You know which link it is. And Officer Faulkner then dipped off. So if you want to say something real quick before I play this this intro slash closing that I got with the girl in the storm, you got about a couple minutes until I end this this epilogue or whatever we like to call it, this final closing statement. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so here it is. Here it is. It's like black men aren't tough to get along with at all. And the fact that we've gotten black people, especially women, to the point of being that flippant is really a testament as to how easy black men have taken it on, everyone. And my suggestion is uh, that, you know, that we stop doing that. Become that ruthless, nice guy that, you know, that myself, and especially Roger, that we talk about so much. Oh, here we go. There we go. Mr. Elbow Cough himself has come up. So what's going on? I'm going to give him the floor. Roger, what's up? Hmm. Is it King of Kadesh? While we're waiting on Roger to speak. Okay, so you are a Virgo. Yeah, I caught the tail end of Virgo. I think Libra starts tomorrow. Or
Virgo squad.
yeah. So yeah. Let me think. Is that or is it the 23rd? I think fall is the 23rd. Libra season starts on the 22nd. So I think hold on one second. Let me clarify that while we're waiting on Roger to speak.
Raj would come in last minute on some Chicago pimping shit.
Yeah, Virgo. Yeah. Let's see. What are the dates? Yeah. Last day to be a Virgo is tomorrow. So the 23rd Libra season starts.
Oh, so you caught the day before the last day? Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
man.
I called the day before the last day. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if I'd have been a couple
No.
more days, I'd have been a Libra just like my
Mm.
brother.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure Roger would has something that he would like to say if he could figure out. And he probably talking right now and don't even realize that can't nobody hear him. So see, uh let me at least Roger, we can't hear you.
Roger,
Roger,
you trying to talk? Say something in the back chat.
uh, he's on mute right now. But oh, he dipped out. Roger, I'm gonna give you one more chance and then I'm gonna shut it down. I mean, I'm sure that like he has something very profound to say. That's why I'm holding out
Yeah,
for
his
him.
reception might be bad.
Yeah, but he usually has something good to say, and he's my habitual line stepper brother, so I am holding out for him at least. But if he can't solve this problem, then we're gonna have to shut it down, and then he can say it some other time. But yep.
Yeah, man, it's Virgo life. I used to hate being a Virgo when I was a kid because school didn't start as early as it does now. So I used to hate it because everybody was broke because they bought all their kids their school supplies and uniforms and everything and shoes and whatever. And so my birthday came around right after everybody was broke as hell. And so my younger sister, hers is in the middle of summer, so she used to have all the summer parties and all the cool stuff. Me, on the other hand, I was struggling on my birthday, like, damn, I can't do nothing, So yeah, that was the kind of sucky part of my birthday. And
Oh yeah.
mhm.
Being a Virgo, you're at the beginning of the school year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not much you can do. You might can do something on the weekend, but
Mm-hmm.
still, you're not gonna get that much of a reception. Now, summer
Yep.
parties, you can pretty much play to the live long day. Be tired at the end of
Man.
that motherfucker.
Hmm. When I was a kid, I was low key jealous of my sister. I was my younger sister. I was like, come on, man.
All
Why
right,
my
well,
birthday gotta be in September?
yeah, shit. Well, I never had any problem with it, and I'm
Hmm.
gonna leave with this.
Hmm.
I listened to Earth, Wind, and Fire September today, and it's a song that's very significant to me because very first line is, "Do you remember the 21st night in September?" My mother, um, and I haven't said anything to anyone about this particular thing right here, but the reason why I took a 5 to 6 week hiatus from you know the weekend show is because my mother passed. She passed back in April, and it was nothing that we could have prepared for. Everything that happened in the same day. So yeah, so this day was sort of surreal for me because this is the first birthday that I could not talk to my mother. And yeah, and like as much as I wish I would could talk to her right now, uh, she's the one responsible for me even having a birthday. So I didn't particularly want to bring that information here to the channel because there are cruel people out there that use information like this to to really mess with you, and I wasn't in the emotional state, but I have to understand one thing, that is about, at the end of the day, it's about my memories and my love for my mother, and I at least owed her a word for that. And just want to say that I miss you, Mom, and see you when I get there. So, um, anyway, that is it for now. Yeah, this has been the first brutally honest day. I love you, Mom. Long live the habitual line steppers. Till the next brutally honest day, I promise to have I promise to have another one soon, and hopefully, we'll actually produce somebody who actually have said all of these things about black men, who are willing to participate and tell an actual black man, because my mother definitely raised a black man. Period. Point blank. End of discussion. Not up for debate. In Kev we trust. Till the next time.